Ahoy, hoy. Welcome to a Salon Supplemental. This is me trying something random, unscheduled, no notice. I'm bored. Maybe you're bored. Join me, discuss, play with the lights as I try to figure out new settings. Make sure that my microphone is working. And moving back to that one, and then making sure that my dog's not barking. And we're back. Like I said, this is a random, unscheduled, unannounced stream. We're going to play with the lights. We're going to play with the sound settings. We're going to look at some things that I've been working on. See if they look better, more crisp. And I'm live so that I can test some things over on Twitter. But join in the conversation. Throw out your thoughts in the chat. Ooh. Just noticing this news. The Department of Justice is going to call for the breakup of Live Nation and Ticketmaster in an antitrust lawsuit. Years after that should have happened. And that is why voting matters. I mean, say what you will about the president, but the entirety of the administration is on the ballot. And this is just the latest awesome thing that they've done. Not enough, but whatever. Not what this is about. Testing this lighting. It look like I have jaundice. Interesting. So now the question is it the lights around me or is it the lights lighting my face that I need to work on? Thank you, Benji. Thank you, Sohail. This is what we do on our birthdays, right? Test lighting. My ADHD, my motivation to do things is so random. Like, oh, I have a burst of energy. I'm going to go live and test the lighting. And listen, if I'm bored and doing this and boring, y'all are watching it. So we are interesting people. Seeing that's too big. Hello, Stephen. I will. I love Joanne. She has been a delightful addition to the salon. Let's see. She'll be with us, I assume, live tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, talking about the latest episode of Star Trek Discovery, which will come out later this evening, or technically early tomorrow. Like usually it starts to be available, at least for me. I'm in California. I've seen the latest Star Trek episode as early as like 11/17, 11/21, 11/21, something like that. And is the latest it's been available to me that I've tried to watch as close to midnight as possible has been like 11:48 or something like that. Very random. I would imagine it's a technical thing, like releasing it live. I truly do not know how this works, but based on some other systems and how they work, I don't know that this is still the case, but I do recall a while back at a job, an email vendor was talking to us about how long it would take for emails to get sent once you hit send based on the bulk of them. So it was something like, again, this was an email vendor for that job, which this would have been 2014, 2015 for me, probably. So they would, like, if we had triggered a batch of 10,000 emails, it would take less than 30 seconds for them to all go out. Anything above that, it could take up to like 20 minutes or something like that. I don't know. I do not remember fully. I don't know how that works now, but I'm wondering if something similar is going on. By the way, this is a Hive stream, which means one or more of us may not have partaken in beverages or other substances that are legal in the great state of California, at least, and many other places that I have lived. So welcome to the Hive stream. We are testing lights. We are testing this microphone setting. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm assuming y'all can hear me. Not that it matters, because again, well, I mean, I would want to know with the test. What do y'all want to talk about? Any thoughts? Trek theories, not including Discovery. We only have 2 episodes left. I don't want to get into predictions for that. Ooh, thank you, Benji. I'll do my podcast voice. I'm just going to speak slow, methodically, murderily, true crimeally. Yeah, any questions? Jake, how is your Star Trek Adventures group going? Ours, the one that we've been working on, just has not gotten started yet. Oh, look who it is.
Who is it?
It's my co-host Trevor, also bored on a Wednesday evening.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you were saying over the sound of my wine. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you do anything fabulous, or did you just work?
I mean, everything I do is fabulous.
Did you do anything more fabulous than what you normally do?
No, just work. It was funny. I was on a meeting with my boss when a colleague of mine sent out to our Slack channel something about my birthday. Mm-hmm. She's in the middle of berating me about something, and she's like, "It's your birthday," and I'm kidding. She was not berating me. We get along very well. But like in the middle of the meeting, she's like, "Oh, it's your birthday." I'm like, "Yep." I see that you're distracted on our one-on-one. Wow. Not that I can relate with my ADHD. So no, I just worked.
That's what I
since work wrapped up, played games, hung out. I ordered pizza.
Oh.
I'm dog sitting in addition to, of course, having Tindy. So
pizza, you naughty boy.
Yeah. I think I said this on the last Hive that I tried last week. I unironically and with zero guilt love Little Caesars.
Okay.
I know sometimes people hear that and they're like, "Oh my God, that's disgusting." And I'm like, you know what? You're disgusting, because we don't kink shame and we don't food shame. Because that, I want to be very clear now that I said that out loud. Pizza is not a kink for me. There's nothing weird happening with my pizza.
Maybe the pepperoni. No, I'm kidding. No, I would never shame someone's food fondness or sort of guilty pleasure, because I have some weird ones. I'm a big fan of Funyuns.
Yeah,
and
you
also
and my mom.
And also a bagel bite.
Yeah.
I love bagel bites.
Yeah. The
I'm
pizza
not
ones.
ashamed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's like it's not my favorite pizza. It's not, I wouldn't call it the best pizza, but it is hot, it is ready, and that's more than I can say for a lot of other things in this world.
So I was gonna say, not unlike yourself at STLV.
Exactly. Um, get ready, boys. She's coming in, and if this dry spell is not over by then, I may I there are so many ways that I could take this joke, and none of them.
No, they all involve shuttle bays and references to such things.
Yes, my shuttle bay will be open, is what I'm saying, at least.
And then there's
God,
a whole docking situation.
yes,
Um,
I have not.
can we get a problematic gay alert if it's just the two of us having a conversation?
We can do whatever the fuck we want. This is our channel. Where is
That's
it?
right.
Although I will say I still think your policy of me not getting or me not being eligible for bonus points is offensive
It's
and
not
hurtful.
a policy. It is a practice,
You
and it
did
makes
give
it
me bonus points once, and I forget why.
it makes it more special when I do give them to you. But
That
it feels preferential if I just give them to the guy that like made this happen for us.
yes.
Um, because
Joanne, your
as
friend Steven in the chat says hi.
my friend Steven or Joanne's friend Steven?
Joanne's friend Steven.
Oh, because I'm like,
Let-
shit, do I have a friend named Steven that knows that I do this?
you
Oh,
might.
no. Oh, hi from Nashville. Tell Joanne hello. Oh,
We talked about that a little earlier, and now Joanne says, "Hey, bitches." So,
hey girl,
Steven,
hey.
that is also to you. It's a conflict of interest. That's true.
I don't know why I couldn't think of those words. It's a little
And
embarrassing.
which is hilarious given what you do for work.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I
Um,
found your bonus point. I looked at my spreadsheet. You got
forgot you have a
25 bonus
spreadsheet.
on May 9th. You received 25 bonus points for who Keller
Recent.
run the world.
Oh, yeah. Listen, my visual puns haven't been the best because I've been doing it day of. It's much easier. Well, the visuals are somewhat new, but the puns go back to, I think, day one. I think Twitter Spaces one, I called it something punny or ridiculous in general. Also, yes, Joanne, if you want to dispute your points, you have to come live. It's in and let me know in the DM if you need that link separate, because I know sometimes it doesn't work from Twitter. Also, you don't have to join us. This was not scheduled, and it's weird. Not weird, random.
It's both those things.
What was your question?
Did I have one?
I don't I don't.
Are you, oh, you're what? I didn't hear what you
Uh,
said you were.
this is a birthday Hive stream, which is my hilarious combination of the word high and live. See? Punny. That's what I am.
It's a shame
Uh,
there's not a spreadsheet for this supplement, or I would give you points for that.
you know what? I should, so because we were deleting them for the longest time, and then, I mean, you don't have to be on
But
screen.
when we were deleting them, I did keep track. So before the
Yes,
spreadsheet, there was my logbook.
I should have done that because so from the beginning and for a while we were deleting them. We were not recording them, and then we were immediately deleting them because of the way that YouTube works. And then now that they're staying up, I have to, before I reach a certain cap in StreamYard, make sure that I have all of the clips that I want from that episode posted to YouTube so that I could then delete it on StreamYard. So we
You're hurting my
don't hit
brain.
like, you know what's funny? When I get high, my ADHD kicks in even more. I'm like, these people will want more details, not less.
Right.
And I know that even when I'm stone cold sober, I give way, way too many details.
I
Like
mean,
I will be telling a story about a car accident, and it will start with what I was having for lunch that day, and it matters for whatever reason my brain thinks matters
I
when it really
appreciate
doesn't.
detail usually.
Um, but yeah, the puns, the episode names, I still remember um the Picard ones. See our season 1 of Picard retrospective was my peak moment. It
Well,
was,
do you want to share it now, or do you want to reuse it when we do another one and record it this time?
I mean, we'll do both probably because it's so dumb. It was since you've been gone.
I remember that.
Yeah, that
I
one
don't
was
know
one of my
why I
best.
remember that.
I
That's
don't
really
remember
good.
what I did for season 2.
Neither does season 2.
Yeah, right. In fact, it could have been like, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother putting creativity into the name because no, that's not fair. It
It's
wasn't.
it,
It certainly
the
wasn't
whole
that
retrospective
expensive.
should have just been called, "Hey, remember that 38-minute episode?"
Oh, yep. Jonathan Frakes directed.
Yes, it
Yes,
was about being run over by a Tesla.
I have feelings about that just because, like, in the age of streaming, it feels inappropriate to not give an episode of at least what an old network syndicated show length would have been.
Well, and also you have all of the it's not like they filmed them and had to get them in the can and distributed to the network. Like
Right.
this isn't a 26 episode network season. This is a thing you filmed and then edited and then
Yes.
presented. So
And I
like
get
why didn't you just edit it with 4 more
this
minutes
is
on
the
either end?
story they wanted to tell, and leaving anything that they cut in would have pulled attention away from whatever. But
Okay.
like, I mean, but like that's not the worst criticism of season 2 for sure.
No.
Which I did enjoy overall. There was like the stuff, what we actually learn about Jean-Luc was really good.
Hmm.
The Borgatti stuff was really good. I called it in episode 2. I remember I was an early adopter of, I think that bitch in episode 1 is Agnes. I think she's gonna, like, the second the Borg Queen from a more evil version of the Borg Queen showed up, I was like, that bitch is gonna get assimilated, and I bet it's gonna be awesome. And I was right. Very few of my theories turn out to be correct.
Same. Um
What did you think the
Also
burn was gonna be?
I really, really hoped it was Omega.
Yeah,
I thought that
yeah,
would have been a great. And but I also like I'm not gonna say I was okay with the kid screaming being the thing, um, necessarily. I did my only problems with the burn, were just in final execution
yeah.
because there were
That's my
so many
thought too.
people that were legitimately confused about, like, they there was such a it was such a quick line of dialogue of like any starship with an active warp core. Well, like explain what that means. Like explain that
Right.
if the dilithium couldn't channel the reaction, that the reaction was uncontrolled. Therefore, matter and antimatter collided, and the whole fucking ship exploded. Like because there was no functioning dilithium. Um, that just kind of got glossed over, and everybody was like, "Well, how come there were other shit?" Well, if their warp
Right.
core wasn't online, then they survived. Like it's just it like they didn't explain it enough, and then over explained that like a kid was sad.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah, it was,
the ultimate explanation just was fine. It just didn't work from a like if that's the route you're going, dive into it.
yeah, there was definitely, it was definitely an execution thing for me as well. Like it was very Star Trek. It was very Green Hand. Um
Mm,
like it was very TOS, which
mm.
I don't love. Don't hate as some people think I do, but I don't love it. Yeah, like they're just. I wanted to like it more because I do like when Star Trek does different things. I really enjoy that about Discovery in particular. Like something was announced today. Some company is doing like a metal poster set or whatever, and the first thing that they announce is yet another thing with the Enterprise D. Like, I love the D and I love Spock, but not every piece of merchandise has to include those two things. And it feels like over the last year, every new Star Trek project is like, and here's a way that we're shoehorning Spock into it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember this ship you had for 7 seasons? Now you can buy it at home, kids.
I'll just be happy when Hallmark finally stops making lighted ornaments that are another version of the Enterprise.
And this year it's the Enterprise B. I'm like, all right.
As someone who now out of like I don't consciously collect them, but I have all of them from the beginning because my mother bought me the first one the first year, and then they came out with that second one, and she's like, "Oh, it's a series." Now she just has this thing where it's like, "No, it's a set. You have to have the set whether you want it or not." So I just get the damn ornament every year.
Yeah,
Which is
I
lovely.
got I have 2 Defiants and a Voyager. Because I think my mom forgot that we had the Defiant, and so the next year, a year later or whenever, we got another one.
Mhm.
And then a coworker got me for I was his Secret Santa pool that year. I think this was probably 2019. Yeah, this was in person. It was 2019. Got me the interesting choice. It was Saru and Michael, with Michael handing over their dead mentor's inheritance box.
The telescope.
Yes. I was like, what a weird moment to put on to make a Christmas ornament. Not one of them sitting in the chair, not just them
Also, what a
standing next to each other.
what a lost opportunity when they could have given us the dinner scene in season 3 when they were all at the table. It
Oh
could be
god,
like
I thought you
Star.
were gonna say the Klingon dinner scene. I thought you were going
Oh
much
no,
darker.
no! I was going Star Trek Discovery: The Last Supper edition.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Here,
Jake
Vamp.
asked
I'm
an
gonna go
important
grab it.
question. Okay, Jake, the green hand is I'm gonna try to give you the right episode, so give me 1 second. But it's from the original series, Star Trek Green Hand episode. Who mourns for Adonais? Original series episode. The ship, the Enterprise, is actually trapped by a giant green hand. And I wish I could say that I was making some part of that up or just describing it poorly, but I'm not. That is exactly what happens. So yeah, there's the green hand explanation. That was my vamp.
Which is also a Hallmark ornament, which, like, that's a cool
Yeah.
thing. It's different. So I have the Intrepid,
Uh-huh.
which lights up.
Yes.
2 Defiants that light up.
Ooh, fun. You're welcome, Jake.
Which both of these, like, these look really good, and they're about the same size. Yeah. They are about the same size as the Eagle Moss models of these ships.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, here is
Sorry about our
Saru and
friend.
Michael. You're like,
sorry about the lady that eats Mirror You.
Never got the chance you had to be Captain Bridgewell's first officer. She was good by her side and learned everything she had to teach. She forgot that chance I had. I would have been more prepared for today. You did well. She would have thought so too.
Oh my god, it's like half the episode.
Her telescope. It's yours now. You should have the privilege in the universe, so you should.
that was like the whole damn scene.
I was gonna say it's the whole episode. It's like the Hey girl, hey.
Hey, I'm in the kitchen.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay. Don't be.
how long have I had Benji's comment up? Like, it's a conflict of interest. Stan has been on this entire time.
Honestly, if you don't save this, add it to the channel and call it that,
Yeah.
Stan's conflict of interest, then you're
Yeah.
doing it wrong.
Joanne, we're talking about this Christmas ornament that makes no damn sense. Do you remember this one coming out in 2019 from Hallmark?
No,
It's just
what
Michael
is
and
that?
Saru talking
It's
about a telescope.
Michael and Saru holding their dead mentor's inheritance that Michael gave away.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. And it talks. I just pressed the button and it was like practically the whole scene. I thought it was here.
Are you really angry at me?
It's the whole thing.
I thought you agreed, jealous, but I never got the chance you had to be Captain Durjell's first officer. She was good by her side. I learned everything she had to teach her. I never got that chance. It's like that.
I'm gonna cut it off there because I don't want to get another
A copyright thing.
violation.
Did we get one already?
That it was my fault because my attempt at doing a Hive last week just to see. I was watching. I was like, "What should we watch together?" And I was watching Girls Five Eva, and I was like, "Oh, I should just put this up." Like a dumbass,
See?
I was like, "Oh, I should just put Netflix's intellectual property on screen for everybody to see." Which it is. It's truly stupid. Like, why would you not want us and our goal hit today 75 subscribers to watch your show? So wild that is a community violation. And so like the warning lasts for a certain period of time, and in that window we can't get another one. Otherwise we will be restarting this channel elsewhere. And
Good Lord.
the warning won't it will always be in the background of the studio, the back end of the channel. So whenever I'm working on anything, it'll be like, you have a warning against you.
It doesn't surprise me though that we're for some reason on their like let's stalk these nice people list, because
Already,
as everyone knows, I obsess over everything, including the viewer numbers, and they like we will have more live viewers than we will end up with views
yes,
like a week after the video is done, because they take them away from us, because apparently every Star Trek fan on Earth looks like a bot, I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm not sure how that works.
It's all the sex bots coming into to watch us.
Right.
YouTube is like absolutely not
Right.
foreign sex bots.
Hey, I have a question. So Benji just posted that he had the shuttle Galileo with Spock's voice on it, but no tree to hang it on. Is that like, do I need to send you a tree, Benji, or is that you don't celebrate Christmas? Because if you need a tree and you don't have one, I'm ordering one right now. Stan, what were you just doing? You're on mute. Stan, you're still muted.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Great, because I was struggling with this person's name before I
Okay.
realized it was just a bunch of letters and not a name.
So Benji just answered my question, but he answered it rather aggressively.
Oh, I don't want to put that on screen. But wait, no, because I can't put that on screen because it's not clearly a quote from Benji, and I thought that's what it was. I thought Benji was.
Well, I didn't know, so I was just asking.
It's just going to be on the screen. It's called being.
So you right, you just don't want one, and that's fine.
Say what that one is again, out of context.
A tree. He doesn't want a tree, and that's fine.
So
But
to get to
there are other things that light up that you could plug that ornament into. So I'll put that out there.
Yeah. Just DT. Oh, got it. Okay. Lieutenant Junior
Just
grade
Lieutenant
DT. I was about to be like legit. I don't know. Girls Five Eva is a hilarious show that started on Peacock, and after its second season, they canceled it, but then sold it to Netflix, who did a third season. And unfortunately, it's apparently not doing well because I think for a couple of reasons. A, the first 2 seasons are only 8 episodes, and then Netflix cut the third one to just 6. So, like, it's a good full story to get into, and it's a quick watch, obviously. But I have questions that I need answered in a season 4. But it's hilarious. It is the story of a 2000s girl group coming back together 20 years later, realizing how problematic the culture that they were in was, and their contribution to it, their lyrics. Amazing cast. It's Sarah Bareilles, Paula Pell, Busy Phillips, and Renee Ellis Goldsberry. Renee and Sarah, obviously great singers. Renee was in the original Hamilton cast. If you like Documentary Now, the spoof series from Bill Hader and John Mulaney and that crew, there is a hilarious spoof of The Company cast recording documentary called Co-op that Renee is in. Fucking hilarious. Paula Pell is in it as well. So they play the 4 still alive members of Girls Five Eva and come back together. The first season is about them getting back together to do a big event, like a big comeback event. The second season is all about putting together a new album, and the third season is them trying to tour it. And like, it is, there's spoof songs. This all exists in the Tina Fey cinematic universe. It's very Kimmy Schmidt, very 30 Rock. Trevor, have you seen it?
No.
We just watch it right now.
No, we can't.
Get another community.
The Netflix police are out to get, or Netflix police, Jesus Christ.
I need to
YouTube
look into
police.
that more, because like I see these all the time on our front page. It'll be like, hey, here's this random YouTuber watching Star Trek 6 for the first time, and they have clips on it. So like, it has to be something silly, like anything. It has to be 8 seconds or less, and then discuss it or whatever.
Well, and how does that work if you like, so we couldn't do like a live watch, we'd have to, or like a watch along, or we could, but you just can't have what you're watching displayed?
Yeah, like I feel like,
Because if you want to
That
watch
would
me watching something, that's like a new level of your dull.
and people do
I mean,
it.
listen,
People make money.
everybody needs a hobby, but
Yeah. Listen, I want to
like you
monetize
should.
this, so everybody like and subscribe.
I just feel like if that's your idea of a good time, maybe you should volunteer more because you have a lot of extra time on your hands.
I don't want to yuck anyone else's yum. But
Okay, Commander.
I do tend to lean in your opinion as well. But that's also just because it's just not for me, and everybody has different hobbies. Like, for example, and I do not mind saying this live. I've said this to Trevor and others. I don't particularly care. I don't. How do I say this live? It's not that I do not like them, but the single person commentary videos, they're just not for me. I don't want to hear. I love what we do with discussion, bringing in the chat. One person talking at the camera about what I should think about Star Trek in that episode, I have no interest in. And then the good people who do that kind of thing, even them, like, even here were the good things in this episode, and here were a few that I just didn't happen to like. Like, I like discussing that with people. I don't want to hear one person's opinion talked at me. And again, it's not that it's bad. It's I mean, the haters are bad. They're stupid. But the good ones.
I have to disappear for 1 second because
just not for
my
me.
dinner was just dropped off, but I have to show
Go
you
get
this
your
really
food.
fast. I don't know if it'll show up or not, but they legit just like put it on a column outside, like just put
Cute.
it on a post. Like my food's just sitting on
Yeah.
a post.
Well,
So I'll
don't
be right
dox
back.
yourself.
Oh no, that you can't tell where I am.
Great. There are
And if-
sleuths that will
if you
see that
can-
one image and they'll be like,
If you can, come visit.
Yes. He has a lovely pool.
I'm trying to get where I can see the chat. I'm on my phone. So I moved
Oh,
to
it
let's see
is
if I can get.
a hot mess on the phone. You should be able to just tap it.
I know. I'm like.
And you have to be in landscape mode. Not landscape, portrait mode, sorry.
By the way, I'm turning that
technology.
into a t-shirt for you, Stanley. You should be able to just tap it.
You should just be able to just tap it. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm trying.
I don't mind tapping shit.
So Jake the nerd says, other than Salon podcasts, what kind of content are you guys thinking about making? So glad you asked. There are a couple of things that we've talked about. The Salon will continue in this form Thursday, 6:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific, talking about the latest episode, and then various other topics in between. So like between now and Lower Decks coming out later, I would assume Netflix is going to drop Prodigy. They've already said what they're dropping in June, and Prodigy wasn't on it. I'm thinking July or early August to either be summer focused with kids out of school, or really hope that they watch it just before they go back to school in August, so that they're gabbing about it with all their friends. August is usually when Lower Decks comes out. And while Netflix and Paramount don't need to coordinate at this level unless they put that in the contract, they certainly could be. Like I think it, because they also used to fund Discovery. I think it's not likely, but there is a less than 0% chance that Netflix is just being respectful of Discovery being on the air right now, so to speak. What was the question? God, I'm high.
You think that's why Prodigy is delayed? I don't know. I'm in and out.
I think it's possible because Netflix was an early investor in Discovery as well. So I mean, hell, like the selfish reason, a lot of these folks are stupid. They're just like, oh, a Star Trek is currently airing. Let's wait for it to be done, because we don't want to. I would imagine they would want to put this out in the summer while kids are out.
While kids are out of school or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, so Discovery starting in April, it's like, great, we can wait at least until it's done. And
there's also something to be said for the logic behind dropping a Star Trek series when it's the only Star Trek series available. If it's not geared toward every audience, like, don't get me wrong, Prodigy is not, like, I am not the target audience, and I fucking love it. So that I'm not the target doesn't mean it doesn't work for me. But I could see if you have something that is specifically designed for a very specific audience, being like, no, we're going to make it so that there's no competition in the Trek world.
Yeah, I think that's right. So yeah, so in between Discovery and we think Prodigy, but definitely Discovery and Lower Decks coming out, we're probably going to do our Thumb Wars series on Star Trek Voyager, because we haven't done that yet. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a few more downs than with TNG and Deep Space Nine from my end, though I love the series overall, and 99% of the actors and 85% of the characters. Similar to my Worf stuff. I love Michael Dorn. I hate Worf. Then
But
probably.
I'm trying to associate that to Voyager. I know who you aren't fond of, but who are
I
you?
hate Neelix.
Ah, okay.
And it's nothing to do with Ethan Phillips. I think he's great, but like Neelix.
So
in a
Beltran
franchise,
and Chakotay can take a flying leap.
yes,
but you are comfortable and fond of Ethan, just not Neelix.
Yeah,
Got it.
And I like the thing with Neelix, in a franchise, particularly in that era, that that has some problematic, creepy shit. Neelix really takes the cake. Like, well, he's on par with Dr. Bashir in creep factor. At first,
I'm a push back
Mm.
because Neelix, like the creep factor with Neelix, had to do with like someone who, like it's creepy because we look at the Kess character through a human lens.
Yes,
Bashir was just creepy because he was like setting fire to every ethical guideline that a doctor should employ.
Trying to bang most of his colleagues and patients.
Oh yeah,
and random strangers or people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh sure, whomever. And again, both Julian Subatoy Bashir and Sadiq Al Fadil can get it. Like that's not a question. But the creep factor, in my opinion, was slightly higher, though outdone by Richard Biggs as why am I blanking? Babylon 5, Dr.
Franklin.
Stephen Franklin, thank you.
Yeah.
Stephen Franklin was all kinds of inappropriate with every female patient he encountered.
Yes. And drugs.
Hashtag 90s
sorry,
subject.
spoiler alert.
90s sci-fi, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, in between new episodes, we'll do Thumb Wars. We've talked about doing in weeks that we need content filler, for lack of a better term, and to sound really gross about our own channel. Random subjects like I think we could fill multiple hours, even if I'm sober, with. Am I taking forever to make every single point, or is it just feeling that way? Okay,
a little bit. It's okay.
I'm meandering a lot.
It's your birthday. You can do whatever
it's your birthday.
Thank you. And I'm a meander. What? Oh,
content,
I think
things we're doing.
We could do probably a whole series on Star Trek technology and regulations and ethics. Like the ethics of the holodeck, I think, is a fascinating subject that should be discussed more in Trek. Like I think part of the creepiness in that Barclay episode should have been because, dear God, by the 24th century, it should be against regulations to allow Starfleet officers to create fictional characters on the holodeck with the likenesses of their colleagues. I think in a Star Trek future, every individual has a right to the use of their likeness, their data, like that whole spectrum of issues that we're starting to fall into now with ChatGPT and shit. Ooh, it's going to be a mess.
They did do the very Gene Roddenberry late 80s, early 90s thing of this is so unusual that a person would do this. Like we don't need guidelines because everyone regulates themselves because everyone in the 24th century is perfect.
Yeah.
And then of course, by the third or fourth season of TNG, everybody was like, yeah, that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. That touch of libertarianism that reeks havoc in Trek once in a while. It really gets me. I'm like, no, we need guidelines. We need rules. I refuse to learn anything more about this Brianna Wu, the current benign villain on Twitter, because she apparently went on a blue check rant about how Star Trek is actually conservative. Like this person is a progressive doing progressive things, I guess. But like totally misses the mark. And I think like Jesse Gender got into it and a couple of other people. I'm like, I am not learning anything more about this person or this person's nonsense argument. But I will say there are layers of conservatism in certain aspects of Trek and libertarianism, like that whole
So
we don't need regulations because nobody would do this. Very
right.
sounds very libertarian.
Also, okay, this is going to cause an avalanche, but like just because currently it seems as though all conservatives end up being complete evil assholes, it doesn't mean that every facet of conservatism is inherently evil. there there was a time when things could, the pendulum swung, and when we were in the closer to the center, although left of center for me, things seemed happier. But like a complete leftist utopia is the stuff of fiction, like Star
Yeah.
Trek. No, but
Yeah.
seriously, like
Star Trek, right?
yeah, hashtag. But like to then say all of Star Trek, like I haven't seen this person, I don't know who this person is. I am
Don't go
going to
down the
attempt
rabbit
to
It's
hole.
avoid this person.
wild. I think it was just that they're so radically left that anything that's not progressive looks conservative to them, right?
Got it.
And so there's no, in some sense, just like the other end of the spectrum, there's no nuance, right? So it just spirals out of control.
Yeah. I mean, rhetoric. It felt very rage baity. Like this is a blue check person. They might be monetized on the platform based on engagement. Funny enough, I saw today the opponent of one of our endorsed candidates put out on Twitter. Look at this person excited about their endorsement from far left named my organization, and like, if you know, you know. Like, I love my job, we do great work, but we are absolutely not far left.
It was
Like
say far left is a bit aggressive.
I feel
Yeah.
very moderate would be the correct description. And I say that without trying to sound judgmental on either way that might tilt. But we are definitely not far left. In fact, most of America is not far left. If you look at an actual leftist scale, people like Bernie Sanders and AOC are, yes, left of center, but they are far more centrist throughout most of the rest of the world than people might think. And that's what we're going to be talking about on the Salon when we don't have him.
Right. We're going to be talking about where on the political spectrum do you fall. No.
Yeah. So
no, but you hit.
themes.
We also haven't done. We did before the self-destruct days ended. We did the pre TNG films as entire episodes. So we haven't done any of the TNG films. We haven't done the Kelvinverse films.
And some of those we could redo because like we'll say some of the same shit, but who remembers? Like now that we're leaving it up, we have different speakers.
I don't remember
on
last
the
week.
Salon now. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have different speakers. Also, we could do fun things like the unofficial trilogy of films from the original series. You know, the 2, 3, 4 being sort of like that could even be an entire episode in and of itself. Definitely talked about special topics. We've not done Thumb Wars on a couple of different series. We've not, we were self-destructing when we first started talking about some series, so we could revisit those as well.
Yeah. Fill out TNG where we started.
Yeah.
'Cause I
And
think it's
then
like season 5 is when, like our very first episode, according to our YouTube channel, is season 5's Thumb War.
War.
Or no,
So we,
but and we went in reverse order back then.
yeah, we did 7, 6. Because
Yeah.
was I the one that said 7
Yeah,
was not
you
as good as
started it.
1?
You
I
started
know
it.
girl, I know I
It's
started
Trevor's
it, and I fucking finished it too, didn't I? But yeah, I said that season 1 was better than season 7, and so we started picking apart season 7, and turns
And
out I was right. Just took me 7
our
weeks to
very
prove it.
scientific thumbs up or thumbs down proved you correct.
It's not only very scientific; it's documented. I have it's I put pen to paper and then eventually spreadsheet to.
You know, the one that we did in Spaces days that we could revisit is controversial decisions.
Love it.
I think we purposefully did not talk about Tuvix because it's been talked to death, and also Captain Janeway did nothing wrong.
Fucking kill him.
And I don't think it's open for debate, which of course is a debate in and of itself. Because that's
Also,
it's
I've
a
said this
subjective
before.
opinion.
I've said this before about the Tuvix situation. The episode was brilliant, but the entire debate could have been, in my opinion, resolved with like 5 extra seconds, and there would be no discussion. Which is simply, hey guys, now that you're separated, did you want to stay together?
Oh,
And then both say no, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, moving on.
Well,
Like,
wait, did they remember what happened? Did they have Tuvix's memories?
I don't care.
I don't think they did.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Um,
but you know, two against one. Like, would you have wanted to remain a fused life form? No. Okay, great. I made the right call.
I think in universe in that episode, what the writers did, one choice made it a beautiful episode, even though it's a controversial one.
Mhm.
That episode didn't take place over a couple of days; it was weeks.
Yeah.
So that character, it was very clear that character had started to form new bonds. Kess was coming around to at least being friendly with him.
Mhm. In modern Trek, it would have been half a season of this character.
Yes, 1000%. And so that is the only reason why I feel like, yeah, it would be hard. Like I saw a video earlier today talking about utilitarianism, and I probably said that incorrectly.
A little bit, but that's fine.
Like the trolley problem.
Yeah.
The most ethical decision to a utilitarian is to pull the lever.
Mhm.
But there are other philosophies to kill one person instead of 5. Like more people living is better in this theory, but other philosophies will tell you the most ethical decision you could make is to do nothing, to not be involved, because the second you pull that lever, you are part of committing murder.
Okay, Gene. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
I
Right?
know. Ooh.
Hashtag Gene's
So
vision.
these kinds of topics. Also, at some point, we're going to do our Star Trek alliances.
It was asked. The question came
Play.
up. Somebody,
Yes.
was it Jake or someone said that they felt like we would be fun to watch, which I am flattered because people don't often say that about me.
We've
Also,
only done one practice session. It was a little rough, but like there's a ton of potential there.
So Hale just called out in the comments, like, how do we feel about no Star Trek Legacy? I commented on that a couple times. Like, I
reject the premise of the question.
Exactly. I think it means no Terry doing Star Trek Legacy. I don't think it means for now, but also I don't think they've like the assumption that Star Trek Legacy is somehow Terry Metallis's intellectual property and we must have his permission to revisit these characters is a misnomer. Like
Yes.
they can do whatever they want with whatever
That part.
clearly because they named the wrong ship Enterprise, but they can do whatever they want with these characters and put 7 on whatever ship shoot they want to put her on and tell whatever story they want to tell. They don't need Terry to do that. There is a swath, and a very vocal swath, and I'm just using the word swath because it's fun, of fans who think that Terry is somehow the torchbearer of Trek. And I just want to say, like, while I thoroughly enjoyed season 3 of Star Trek Picard, I disagree that he's the only person that can make enjoyable Star Trek. Like, they can do
Right.
whatever the fuck they want with these characters, and they can tell whatever story they want. It's not dependent upon Terry. Did Terry do a great job with season 3? Sure, he did. Does he also
1000%.
block everyone on social media that dares to question him? Yes, he does,
Yes.
and that's not cool. So I could see where
Unless you have
maybe
clout.
Paramount's not super happy about working with this person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theoretically,
Yeah, I agree. Like
and Durant.
they could do whatever they want, but I also was like, I don't know. I'm of the ilk that Star Trek Legacy has been a no even before Terry left, and we're just struggling to accept that as a fandom. I don't know why, but I think it was written all over. It was written all over your face. Uh,
Mhm.
Kurtzman's face. Like he was like, we hear you, and the answer is no.
Yeah.
I don't
I
I
feel
don't
like
disagree
they,
with you, but I also could see them doing like I think I think they're really hoping this movie thing catches on. I think they really
yeah.
want to do these TV
Yeah.
movies as ways of satisfying that itch, and that's great. Like that I'm down for that. I would like a Lower Decks movie. I would be down for a Legacy movie. But here's the rub. If I were Paramount, regardless of fan outcry, I would be enraged that this person that hadn't even been hired for the job yet has already named the project.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Although to be
like just
fair, he was
Google.
asked specific. He has asked these questions. It's not like he's just saying it.
Girl,
But
you can
he
ask
could
anything you
he
want.
could
Doesn't mean you got to answer it.
right. He could answer those questions differently. But I do think there is a like I'm spitballing here vibe versus a. Well, I don't know.
Listen,
I agree with you, but I think there's room for potential nuance there.
Google what happened to the actor that played Lieutenant Commander Argyle in the first couple episodes
Right.
of
Right.
TNG as the chief engineer, who went to conventions and encouraged fans to write in and be
Hmm.
yay for Argyle before the series aired, and Homeboy got sent on his way very, very quickly because
He
it's
also
like
sucked.
you don't. There's a weird, like, if I were his employer and he's like using fandom to wedge his way
Hmm.
in to create a project, like, okay, have fun at Marvel would be my response.
Yeah.
That's not saying I don't like Terry. It doesn't mean I don't like what he did. It just means like that kind of chess playing is so not cool,
It's
in my
not
Yeah.
opinion.
cool. I think you're
Yeah.
absolutely right about that. And it was very apparent that that was kind of what was happening. To your point, Stan,
Mhm.
it was probably like in the, as you say, spitballing or what about, and we could, and I talked to Sir Patrick and da 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 da. And then they were kind of like, oh, I don't know, da 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 da. And then, he mobilizes, or use my favorite word, weaponizes the fandom,
Mhm.
to kind of launch this campaign. And I know the kind of leader I am. That would not move me in any way. It
Mhm.
would move me to the other side, as a matter of fact. And so I'm not surprised by any of this. What I
Yeah.
am surprised is that a lot of people can't see that perspective.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do hope we get more with Seven and Rafi and perhaps the LaForge daughters. I am completely indifferent. I like Jack. I loved Jack until I forget the exact moment. Like he went from uh charming, a little swarmy, but willing to sacrifice himself to very stereotypical cis white man with an anger. I'm gonna show the Borg who I am. Like, no, you're fucking not. Like, it was a weird progression when just a couple episodes earlier he was willing to sacrifice himself, and if they had kept that up, like he
Mhm.
chose to sacrifice himself, not realizing how bad it would have been. Versus the macho piece of it, it would have worked better. And like I think, uh, the setup of Seven being the captain of the Enterprise is enough. even without Rafi, even without these other aspects. But everything that they did, I think they sort of set themselves up for failure with like, here are the people who will be involved, including like, no offense to the other actors, but Ed Speleers was the most famous person on that show other than Patrick Stewart, and his star is only rising. So like, how likely are you going to be able to get him back for a series, even if he wants to do it? Yeah, choices were made.
Good questions in the chat. So Hale asking what our Star Trek show finale ranks are.
Oh, yes, good question, Joanne.
There's what you leave behind, and then everything else.
I was just like, what you leave behind, and well, I couldn't even tell you what was the end game for Voyager. That would be last on my list. Ooh. Because I didn't see Enterprise. So yeah, it would be what you leave behind, and then what was TNG's? All Good Things.
All Good Things.
Yeah. 1 and 2.
We got a flash of Will's forehead, but hi, Will.
Yeah. Hi. Sorry, I'm cooking.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Will.
Hi. I'm just on my phone, so it's like weird.
Cooking with Will and Joanne.
Oh my God! Right. What are you cooking, Joanne?
I was also in the kitchen.
Oh, what are you cooking?
So I made some cabbage and potatoes and sausage.
Nice.
And cornbread.
Oh, okay.
Will, what are you making?
Japanese curry with rice.
And I ordered Thai.
I thought about it, honestly. I thought about it.
But I just realized that we should have a spin-off show with Will and Joanne, and we'll just call it The Replicator.
Oh, that's cool. I love that, actually.
I would too. Mm-hmm. I'd be into. We also should have a thumb wars about the uniforms across the series.
I have some controversial takes on the uniforms.
As do I.
That's what I'm saying. We need a thumb wars.
Yeah, we do. We need a thumb wars. We can talk about it. Because some of them are good, some of them are real bad.
We could have a prop thumb war. That would take an hour or two to go over uniforms, phasers, and tricorders.
Oh.
And I'm sure people would love to watch us talk about it.
Yeah, we could do uniforms though. We could do a fashion photo review, but for uniforms.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we have to put members of the Salon in their favorite uniform.
Oh.
Right. Oh yeah, no, that's
yes. I have a very controversial yet brave opinion about my favorite.
Say it. Just say it now. It's a teaser.
It's the Prodigy gray, the first one they got when they became a team. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's a cool uniform.
Yeah. I think it's like one of the best across the franchise.
Okay, hang on, guys. Stan got a shake weight for his birthday.
Not the shake weight.
Wow.
It is a drink shaker. I'm making a drink.
I know, but it was more fun than what I said.
Really something to ease the lonely nights.
It's not even a fun drink maker. It's a shaker bottle that I am shaking water, protein, and like a magnesium supplement. Like it's one of those like calm your mind. You no longer need your late afternoon gloves. These are your early evening gloves vibes.
Okay.
That sounds delightful. So Hale has an important question for Will, which is what even is Japanese curry? Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, it's a great question. It is.
So Hale is speaking from his own culture.
Yeah.
Defend it, girl. I love the vibe.
Oh, it's well, you buy the little blocks, little curry cubes at like an Asian store, Asian grocery store. I'm fortunate enough to live right next to one. And it's like a brown cube, and it makes like a kind of like a thick like curry. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe. It doesn't look it doesn't look like super appetizing, to be quite honest, because it's like brown, but like it's really savory and kind of spicy, and it's just like really good. It's like brown goo. But
it is an adaptation of traditional curries.
Yeah.
I forget the path though. I was just
it's a couple things removed from like, you know, Indian curries. Like I don't know. I guess I should probably look into it. It is made with curry powder. It does have a very curry cumin smell to it. So it does have that, but it's not a lot like a traditional like Indian curry, I would say. It's a little different than that. But it's very good. If you know of a place to go get it, you should definitely go get it. It's really good.
I don't like curry. But...
Oh. Well, fuck my drag.
I know, right?
Trevor, what did you order for dinner?
I ordered Thai.
I just ordered cookies.
Cookies for dinner?
Oh, well, I had pizza. So, you know,
it is her birthday.
I'm being very healthy for my birthday. I ordered the girl dinner cookie pack from my favorite bakery here. Brady's Bakery is delicious, gay owned. I ordered the girl dinner cookie pack, which is 2 of their giant cookies, and an 8-ounce jar of milk, which you have to get at another one where they do they're pre-made. You can get it without the milk. So I have so many little mason jars now that I brew like basically what ends up being green tea shots of green tea, not actual green tea shots. But I also have it's a mimosa cookie, is their cookie of May.
Oh, tell me about that.
It is delicious. Let me pull up the actual description, but I will describe it. It's no, I can't do both of those things at the same time.
While you do that, can I ask Sohail to comment in the comments as to whether or not he meant to misspell marijuana? Because what he wrote is adorable.
It is cute. It's probably kind of how he says it.
I don't know if I want it to be intentional or not. I can't figure out what's cuter. I'm like, is it cuter if it's a mistake, or is it cuter if that's just how he's...
Oh my god.
That no, he didn't misspell it. That it's not human marijuana he's talking about. That's mermaid marijuana.
It's mermaid marijuana, which is even better. He does live in Miami.
Marijuana.
Sohail's a mermaid.
It's marijuana for mermaids.
He said he meant it, so that I think that makes me happier.
Okay.
Yeah, mermaid marijuana. It's delicious.
It's pronounced marijuana.
Marijuana.
I'll be right back, guys. Hold on.
How dare you?
Yeah, drop out.
We can't see you anyway.
I know. I'm switching browsers. I'm switching devices.
She's doing things.
I'm working technology over here.
She's transferring command of the battle bridge.
Yeah. Basically. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Trevor, that was great.
Marijuana. Thanks. I'm here for all the Star Trek puns.
Cookie cakes. Where is it?
Came for the cookies, stuck around for the puns. It's getting really dark in my house. I just realized.
What time is it there?
I don't know. 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? Okay.
What time is it there? 10-11?
9-11 here.
9-11? Wait, where? Oh, that's right. Okay.
I'm in Central. Yeah.
Here we go. Finally. Okay. The mimosa. It's the mimosa cookie, because May is when Mother's Day is for us colonial Americans. We love Mom. This soft and buttery cookie has a kick of orange zest and is coated in an orange plus Prosecco glaze. It's
Oh,
delicious.
Yes, please.
So they put down the glaze and then they drop us a little splash of Prosecco on it.
You shut your
Um,
mouth.
Which it's delicious. You all are gonna watch me eat one in a minute.
it sounds lovely.
Oh,
And then-
important comment from Sohail. Sorry.
Oh.
He's departing.
Oh, good night, Sohel, and thank you. Thanks for spending some of my birthday with me. There's Will.
I'm back.
Walter.
I'm on the battle bridge.
And then I also got the basic bee cookie, which is
Yeah,
our
you did.
our take on a classic sugar cookie, but nothing we ever do is too basic. So we've added our own sparkle to it and filled it with funfetti. Who's the basic bee now?
Nice.
I am
Will,
for that cookie.
you've had Brady's, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's very good. They're very, very good.
Which is why you should stay in LA.
Sorry.
What if like, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't move across the country to this amazing new job.
Yeah,
She's
I-
a capital B now.
I have to. My favorite bakery is in LA. I can't leave. Sure, that'll go over well.
I have to stay remote.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Right? Jesus.
And they fully find out that Brady's does ship nationwide, and they're like, "Listen,
Wait, does it really?
Do they really?
I think
Huh?
so. Well, I don't know about nationwide. It does, but
'Cause I'm ordering that shit right now.
if I could be controversial yet brave, you should. Oh, I feel like they would definitely deliver to Palm Springs. I'm sure
I
they
mean,
deliver in.
I'll
in
pay someone to drive that
state.
shit. I don't care.
But if I am being controversial yet brave, there is a place in Utah that I would dare say has a better cookie.
It says I can get it shipped to my door.
That said, there is obviously a very different it was just baked here, you just got it vibe to like the delivery vibe. Still excellent, but there's this place in Utah and Idaho. A friend was flying back and at a kickball team pool party. He shows up and he's like, "Yeah, I just flew back in from Boise. I brought Chipped for us, this cookie company." And I was not high at the time, but it felt like I was high as I ate that cookie.
Mm.
It was incredible. And so I ordered some and they were incredible. On
Love
par with,
cookies.
for sure. Chipped
Oh my God.
and Brady's Bakery. Incredible.
A dozen is only $50 and they ship it to me.
Oh, I don't need to know that.
Girl, this is happening.
Free nationwide shipping for orders over $70.
Shut your mouth.
Nationwide,
the-
mama.
It's not
Hey.
hard to get to $70 because they're large cookies, but they're like $4.50 each.
Stan, can you read for me the description of the OMFG?
Yes, I can. So that's the one that I oscillate between. I've been on a basic B kick the last couple of times I've ordered, and then not Brady's.
For those of you just joining us, Stan's talking about cookies and I'm ordering them online.
So the oh my fucking god
Will and
is
Joanne make their own dinner.
Yeah. Well, I had dinner. Yeah, I made it. It's good.
order
This
now.
special episode of The Replicator. Yeah,
Yes,
Dude, Joanne, we should do that.
we should.
Do that.
yes.
The Replicator.
Will, before you were on, a question from Jake in the chat was, "What other content are we thinking about doing?" And I went on a very long diatribe, and I apologize about how our show works, as if they didn't already know. But one of the ones that I would love to do is more on STA, the gameplay. But
Mhm.
you all cooking would be incredible.
Yeah, it would be fun. We'll have to pick recipes, and me and Joanne will try and make them.
Yes.
we'll talk about cooking and
Okay,
stuff.
Trevor. The OMFG cookie, Nutella-filled cookie. We thought the name deemed appropriate. Yes. Individual wrapping requests cannot be accommodated. Please. No, that's not the description of the cookie. It is their standard chocolate chip cookie dough, but without the chocolate chips. Instead, it's Nutella, and it is. I shit you not. It is a life-changing experience having it warm and having it chilled.
Okay, so
Thank you, Joel.
apparently I can include a custom note to myself, which I'm going to let you all write. And I would like it to be something that would be really embarrassing.
And he's going to show it on screen in the future to prove that he did not change it last minute. Write the F slur. See if they'll print it. They won't.
I'm not now. I'm not just filled with cum. I'm filled with cum and cookies.
Let me see if that'll fit.
I'm trying to workshop that in my brain.
What is Meatball's phrase? I love hit the slay button.
Oh, hit the slay. Oh yeah, hit the slay button. Whipcrack.mp3.
Something about like, I hope these fill you up before I fill you up later.
Oh
God.
Fill, not feel. Fill.
Fill.
Well, as in with
cookies.
I'm workshopping. I'm workshopping wills.
I'm a 47-year-old man. Don't fill me up. Fill me up.
Yes.
It should be something like, sorry, I ran over your grandma with my car. Like something like that. Like something like, sorry, I accidentally pooped in your bed. That's funny.
Yes. Sorry, I painted.
Sorry, I pooped in your bed. Yeah. That would be really funny.
Sorry, I painted your sheets.
With funfetti.
Oh God. Get the OMFG ones and be like, oops, that's funny, because then that's like.
How do you spell funfetti?
F-U-N-E-T-T-I.
Yeah, F-U-N-F-E.
F-E-T-T-I.
Yeah. Like, that's Finetti. That's not funfetti.
Oh, Finetti. Yeah, my cousin Finetti.
Mama Fatelli from the Goonies.
Mama Finetti.
Goonies. So F-U-N-F-E-T-T-I.
Yeah, F-E-T-T-I.
Yeah, I put in the chat. Funfetti.
Okay.
Jake had a roommate. My roommate walked into my office too. I'm filled with cum and cookies.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Jake. We love you, Jake.
Yeah. Wasn't there there was a meme a while back of like me watching Star Trek alone, and it's like the most basic bridge scene ever. Me watching Star Trek and my parents walk into the living room, and it was like Deanna in her tits poppin' dress, flirting with somebody, something like that.
I need you to be more specific with regard to the dress.
Right. There's no way I'm going to be able to find this in a Google search, but let's try Star Trek meme about sex.
Oh hey kids, guess who just spent $60 on cookies? This guy.
Smart people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna look as soon as I get.
Girl, they ship them in a box of a dozen or a half dozen.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I went all in.
That's gonna happen. I've been engaging in retail therapy all day. I bought some cocktail napkins from Williams Sonoma. From the what is it, Sheila Bridges collection? Gorgeous.
Oh, I saw your tweet about that.
Did you see the Bridgerton?
So true.
They had some too, but I didn't get those. But I'm thinking I'm gonna get a couple things from that too. But how brilliant would that have been for like Picard to have a whole little package like that?
The Thanksgiving disco scene or whatever that Saru did back in season 3.
Oh, yeah.
They're not.
I found it.
Oh God.
Don't get us. What's happening? Don't get us in trouble.
Star Trek when I'm watching on my own, a battle sequence. Star Trek when my parents walk in. Very hard to explain. And the very next moment of him or of her showing her breasts to prove that she's a woman. That I don't think that episode is as problematic as some people claim it to be. It's dicey for sure. It is interesting.
Very cringe.
Yeah, there's like the episode of the Ferengi woman who was pretending to be a man very early on, like season 2, I think. How that could have turned into a really interesting story, and then it was just like, whoops, she's in love. Like, God damn it. Did we answer all of the questions in the chat?
Because fucker bourbon.
There was something
let's
about
see.
finales
Hmm.
and movies in here, I think. But I
So
can't
Hale
find it
asks
now.
us to rank finales.
Oh.
Hmm.
I do think All Good Things is probably the best.
No, I said
Okay,
what you
yeah.
leave behind and then everything else.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I would put What We Leave Behind as number 2 for me, only because
Shut your mouth.
it, like, I mean, we talked about this when we did the Thumb Wars. Season 7 feels very rushed, even though the finale, while technically 2 episodes, really is more like 8.
It's I think 10.
Yeah, but like that entire season could have been that, but like they had to introduce a new Dax. So
Yeah.
Well, they didn't
That-
have
that-
to. They chose
Well,
to.
right.
Yeah, they chose to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that I feel like that finale could have been like 3 or 4 episodes. Like there were so many things they needed to go over, and it just felt like they didn't. They're like, nope, it's got to be an hour. Like even if they got an extra 30 minutes, I think it would have been far more effective as a finale.
Yeah. I also think Kira should have gone down with Cisco.
Yeah. Because she
they
needed
were-
to
I think she
fucking
should
kill Kai Wynn, or she's the
I
one
think
who
she
needed to
should have-
take out Ducat.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have gone down with him. She should have followed him. She should have
Oh,
realized he
yes,
left in a
yes.
runabout and then gone after him. And in that pinnacle moment,
She shoves him
Fucking-
out
yes.
with the book, but lives. Or something like, I mean, I get that he needs to sacrifice himself to go with the prophets, but
Mhm.
he should fall in trying to save Win.
See, I was gonna
they
say he
both
should-
get sucked into the celestial temple.
He should somehow sacrifice himself saving Kira.
Yes.
And then he doesn't die because the prophets are like, no,
Yeah.
no, you're just going to stay here with us for a while.
But I liked your idea of Win, not just like showing Win show up later with the prophets being like, I know now how wrong I was or whatever. Because
I
like
needed-
she was done a little dirty by the prophets.
I needed a Windemption. I needed a Windemption because especially with her, like they did a great, I mean, DS9 always did a great job of like, this person's evil and bad. And also here are some positive attributes of this person.
Yeah.
But I really, and maybe it's that they didn't give it to Win, but maybe Louise just infused it into Win. But there was the scene that stands out is her discussing with Kira that her faith was all that she had to survive the occupation and everything.
That episode
And it was like,
so
how do we
good.
then get to her completely abandoning everything she ever believed in simply because she had been wronged by the prophets?
Right.
Like
right.
it seemed like there should have been a turnaround at some point.
Yeah, because it was very like falling into temptation, not like her not going so
Right.
deep to the other side, like because of a personal slight, or
Mhm.
because Kira was like, "Hey, you know that this is because of your ambition, right? It's not like this isn't something you can fix while being Kai. You need to make that sacrifice."
Mhm.
But I Win is one of those characters where I do wonder if it wasn't Louise Fletcher, would it have landed the way that and certainly not the way that it did. Would it have landed enough that they would have continued that character? Because I do feel like that could have just been. I mean, in fact, there were a few like villain of the weeks, including the first minister, the first minister that we actually saw on screen in was it who's his face? He played Skeletor.
About Jaro,
Yes, yeah,
Franklin Jello,
Minister Jaro. Yes,
Whoopi's ex-husband.
super famous.
Yeah.
Not an easy to forget name. You know, Skeletor.
I was like, Rick Scott, what? Sorry, you said Skeletor. Okay, can I actually you for a second?
About Kai Wynn?
No, Jaro wasn't first minister.
Was he not?
He was a minister hoping to become first minister, and when he became first minister, he was going to appoint her as Kai.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You may always actually me.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Because like the first minister died, or maybe they didn't have one yet. Because the first minister,
have one.
The episode Shakar was when we heard that presumably the first minister after the Jaro incident died,
right,
which set up Wynn going for it in addition to being Kai.
Yes, she was trying to multitask.
Yeah,
she was looking for a slash in her title.
Like, so my point is, like, would it have always been Kai Wynn, or would it have been like when they were ready to introduce a new Kai as a foil to Kira? If not for Louise Fletcher's portrayal, could that have been Vedic new person that week that maybe continued on?
That does sound like a very Bajoran name.
Yeah.
New person.
The Trek movie, that reminds me. I'm switching gears unless there are other things. Feel free to reroute me.
It's your birthday, girl.
I was the Trek movie podcast this last weekend was particularly good. I love they talked with one of the writers of this last week's episode.
It was really so good.
Yeah, right. It was so interesting hearing like the what the original intent was going to be. Like, there was a long time that it was going to be Tilly, and then they thought, no, it works better as if it's book. For a while before considering Tilly, it was going to be someone as a Dr. Derek's, and it would have been a guest star. Which I was gonna say it would have been amazing if it was Marina Sirtis, but it would like that would have been like one of the more interesting types of fan service in a while.
Agreed. Yeah, just put her in a different wig. It's fine.
My order is on its way.
Your cookies?
12 minutes. And I also got a biscuit for breakfast tomorrow. They do
That's
biscuits.
Crazy, because mine apparently take 2 weeks to get here.
What?
It said the next available delivery date was June 2nd, and I'm like, I can wait.
I mean, that's they're only
you're gonna
Echo
forget.
Park.
You're gonna get a bunch of cookies. You're gonna wait. You're gonna forget. And you're gonna get a box full of cookies. What the fuck is this?
Which is gonna be like when you forget that you put $20 in your jacket. It's the same concept.
Yeah. I've done that with
actually it's probably better.
THC gummies. I've taken a 5 milligram, forgot. But like my usual plan with the 5s is either just a 5, or if I have all day, it's earlier, I'm gonna do a 5, and in an hour I'll do another 5, and then 2 hours later I might do one more.
I too occasionally warm up with just a 5. Listen,
I have a system is my point, but sometimes I forget.
Jake is asking about an episode that Benji referenced. What is the episode where there's 2 Voyagers and Harry dies?
That's a great episode.
Is it Deadlock?
I think so.
Yeah.
Is that an episode?
Yes.
It is. Yes.
Deadlock.
So Jake watched Deadlock season 2 episode 21. Thanks, Benji, for confirming.
Yes. It is very good. Was that in reference to our ethical debates?
Yeah.
It
New
came,
Harry or original Harry.
yeah, and Jake was like, "The fuck," and we were like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, there's two Harrys." Yeah. Unfortunately, they're both played by the same actor.
Oh, we could absolutely do. We could do a whole what ifs thing for multiple weeks. Like we could do sub what ifs. Like this week we're doing our what if scenarios in the Voyager series, and it could be whatever. We could also do what if two-parters. What if Will and I have talked about this? I think you've mentioned this on the Salon. What if either Picard wasn't rescued in Best of Both Worlds, or he is but becomes more of a fleet captain mission,
Yeah.
and Riker is in command of the ship.
Because
Those
I always think about that, because it's like the moment Riker's character just becomes the explain that to me in layman's terms. He becomes that guy. What do you mean? Like he just like question, like the clarifying question guy, and like his character kind of stops developing at that point in a weird kind of, like he has moments, but like he's kind of done. But I think if that show, if TNG happened today, there would probably be a moment where Riker is captain of the Enterprise for a while Picard figures his shit out or takes a promotion, or Riker takes command of a ship, and then there's like something that happens. I just think like if that show was not from the 80s or 90s, early 90s, he probably would have left gone his own ship.
Yeah.
I have a whole what if scenario of what if Tasha didn't die,
Yes.
Yes.
which is kind of
Same with
fun in
Jadzia.
terms of like where everyone ends up in their respective jobs and things.
Yeah. I mentioned this one on Twitter recently, but I would like. Everybody knows that Michelle Forbes was offered what became the role Kira when she turned it down, because she after being in a soap opera for a really long time, just decided she never wanted to do longer commitments, multi-season commitments again. And so we got Kira, which luckily, because Major Kira is incredible. There was also like, I don't know how far this one got, but like her involvement in Voyager was also offered, probably in what became the B'Elanna role, which I guess you could retcon her at some point to having become an engineer as a Maquis. Sure.
She was in the next phase somewhat engineering proficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Advanced tactical training.
And if you kill everyone in engineering, then you might need a Maquis who knows how to install a phasing cloaking device.
Yeah. But my proposed what if is, what if Ro Laren was in charge of that Maquis cell, not Chakotay? And the dogs are going nuts. Hey, hush. Very little would need to change in my mind, and it would be a lot more interesting. Yes, the sexual tension in the first season would still be there, but they wouldn't, because duty. The friendship with B'Elanna would still be the same. I think you still introduce 7 of 9. That relationship would make more sense. Start giving us the like later 7 vibes earlier on, and the stuff with Seska, like her, maybe I'm not trying to make it all queer, but instead of a romance, it was like a sisterhood betrayal with Seska. It would be incredible. And the tension between her and Janeway when they did disagree would be incredible.
You just touched on the betrayal would be so much more significant when you find out that Seska's a Cardassian. If it's Ro.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's Ro.
As a Bajoran. 1000%.
Yeah. Although I agree, Benji, they probably fucked.
Yes.
What if Voyager actually had to restart? Yeah.
Yes.
Good call out.
This
I know.
Earlier today.
I wish Voyager got like this is like one Voyager I wish would get a reboot, because the problem is that what Ron D. Moore wanted to do with Voyager as the showrunner, eventually that's what happened with Battlestar Galactica. Like
Mhm.
that kind of tension with them, that kind of
Shit breaks down.
yeah, and then the struggle of them being so far from home and having to deal with all of these things. Like they really do sideline it because that's expensive. I mean, now with CG you can really move through that a little easier, have the ship damaged for a long period of time. It's just, yeah, if you're going to do that kind of show, I wish they would do a show like Voyager again, where there's ships super far out, and then we get like a lot of aliens and a lot of struggle and stuff. Like
Yeah, get what they told us happened to the Equinox.
yeah,
Mhm.
because it just seems like, because they kind of dropped that early on in Voyager, where like with the first couple of seasons there was a lot of struggles with like, how are we can't have a replicator, oh we're running out of deuterium,
Oh, yeah.
like and then
Replicator
all of a sudden they're
rations
just like,
that
we're
everybody's
fine
eating.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the replicator rations was
yeah.
yeah.
You could say that like, I mean,
They
if you
tried to
want to
say
go
that
the
it was a
headcanon
power
route,
thing.
yeah,
It had to do with power consumption.
yeah, power they use a lot of power, and like you can, I don't know, I like one of the few times I'd be like, oh, headcanon here would fill in some of that. Like as soon as like Seven gets on, she's probably been modifying the ship with Borg technology.
Yes.
So like probably a lot of their power problems she probably solved at some point. But like we don't hear or see that. So it's like me filling in the blanks. Like someone wasn't too long ago where someone's like, why would Voyager stand up against a tactical cube? I was like, it didn't do great, to be honest, but like
Right.
it's probably been modified by
Yeah.
Seven, so it's probably better off than it is, stronger than it was when it, you know.
But interesting point, because that sort of was a, I don't know, a misstep on the part of the creation of Voyager, is that the Intrepid class was a tactical ship. Why did you
Yeah.
put a former science officer in command?
Well, no, it was supposed to be a scientific vessel.
It's a deep space. It's technically a deep space explorer.
Yeah.
So it's not a.
Was it
Like it?
a deep
Yeah,
space
it's not
explorer
like
with
a
only 100
tactical.
people on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they just had more advanced tactical systems than it would have otherwise because of the Borg, because of Wolf
Later
359.
on, yeah.
Because it's the Intrepid is not one of the stated
Long range explorer. It's classified as a long range explorer.
Yeah, but
Already.
it's not stated as a specific
Walter, get out of there.
response to the Borg, but like response to the Borg means tactical for for fighting the Borg, but
Yeah.
additionally they would have adapted other ships and technology based on what they've learned through the Borg. I'm gonna go get my order. I'll be right back.
Okay.
But
Are they cookies?
yeah,
I want cookies.
cookies. Yeah, I just kind of wish it, like, I don't know. I'm talking about something that happened in the 90s. Walter, stop it.
But it, like, its flaws were its attempt to be safe. If they had
yeah,
taken some risks and been a little, they could have been a lot more compelling.
exactly. It would be funny if that they do a like. Oh, and I also thought that like the way the show ends is a little. Oh, they get home. Okay, done. Like that finale needed another part. Like I need to see what happens
Mhm.
after they get back. Like I want to see what happens. Like they have to answer for all of this craziness that they had to participate in. Like,
Yeah.
you know, unpack the season. Like what happens to Seven? Like that sort of stuff. Like we kind of hear about that in Picard, but like I need a Star Trek Janeway. I need one season of a Star Trek Janeway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because the whole issue of the Maquis, like, okay, so they're just forgiven. Well, yeah, they should be. But also, can we see that? Like,
Yeah,
do they get
I mean,
to keep their
I need to see
commissions?
like
How does this? What's happening? Yeah.
what's that like when they've been on a ship for, and I think them getting home after 7 years is a little too easy. I think like, but if you look at like, because I remember at one point online people were tracking this before the finale aired, I think, and someone was tracking like where the path of Voyager, like it would have been really close to Federation space by like season 6, Like it would have been like close. Like it would already been on the border of Federation space based on how quickly it was going through things. But like, I don't know. I wish the show had time jumps, or like, the last season we jumped ahead a significant amount of time, because I think it's important to see that they, that journey takes a very long time. And it just seemed like, oh, we used the Transwarp network and got home, and it's like, okay, like I get the plot of that, but
Also, just the
I don't know.
whole, oh, there's a Transwarp network. Just kidding, we destroyed it after we used it. Like the whole,
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
we've created a
Decimated the
plot hole.
board.
Quick, fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, decimated them. But like,
Although
I
I
don't
will
know.
say, I liked how that picked up in Picard. The whole, like, we didn't see the ramifications of what Janeway did until
Yeah.
however many years later.
Right. Yeah, I
That
appreciate
was kind
that.
of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but it I don't know. I think about Voyager in it because I love Kate Mulgrew, and I like the Voyager is like one of my favorite ships. So like, I don't know.
I'll
It'd be a
just
good
never.
like long trek or a medium trek.
Yeah, or
Like,
I need a movie on that. Like, give
yeah,
me a movie or a two-parter, or like a limited series, like something where you get like maybe 3 or 4 episodes, something where
yeah.
they can dig into that a little bit more. Because I didn't.
What's the topic?
We're just talking about Voyager, how the finale wraps up too cleanly, and I needed to see more what happens when they get back.
Yes. They
Like-
they should have let her do a speech. Thank you to the crew. Because of you, we made it
Uh-huh.
home.
Yeah, something.
At
It was just too
minimum.
easy. It was just too easy. And then they're like, "Oh, we're bringing you right to Earth." Like, girl, no. I've been like, "The fuck, you're not. The fuck, you're staying over here. You're going to this space dock over by fucking Jupiter or something. Like, why would you bring that ship?" Which
Oh, by
might
the
have
way, we have a transwarp corridor straight to Earth. We just didn't use it before.
Yeah.
Right.
Couldn't access it. Yeah, yeah. It's just kind of weird. I mean,
Tolls are very
I don't know. Very expensive. Yeah, it's just kind of bizarre. I don't know. I'm sure that there was like post Endgame Voyager novels, but like Star Trek novels are just such a hard read for me. I can't sit and read them. They
There's
really
a few
just
that are decent, but for the most part they're difficult. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, ugh.
I'm struggling to finish. I was liking it, but I'm struggling to finish Articles of the Federation.
Oh, it actually ends well.
Okay, good. Because I'm struggling with the president. Like, she's just
really?
kind of a bitch.
I love her.
I hate. I like the way that she handles people, but her dialogue, particularly in speeches, I think is a little rough.
Isn't Articles Peter David? Okay, I'll wait. Sorry, I know you were trying to eat your
Segue.
cookie, and I made you get up and walk away. That's not cool. What's the top, without saying legacy, what's the top show that you guys would like to see Paramount produce?
Mm.
Stand by, Jake. Stand by.
Yeah, stand by.
Articles of the Federation is by Keith R.A. DeCandido.
Oh, say that 10 times fast. Okay.
That's probably multiple people.
Yeah.
Probably two. Come on. What? Ugh. Whenever
Okay,
they
well,
do
then
that,
never
when they have
mind
like
what I
a
was
weird
about to say.
name like that, it's always multiple people. It's 2 authors.
Hi, Walter. So Jake's asking what top show would we want to see Paramount produce? Star Trek
Legacy
Kira.
wouldn't even be the one.
I would like to revisit General Kira and how she's now head of the Bajoran militia. No, I mean, actually, I would love. I don't need a show revolving around Kira, but I would love something that, like, I want the Legacy timeline. I just don't want the Legacy show. I would like to see something happening in the 25th century, and it doesn't need to center on Seven and everything that Terry did. But I do like that time period and would like to see maybe something more political, something where we do see a General Kira, but we don't have to have a whole show focused on her. Like, what's going on in the Bajoran system? Why might she
Yeah,
have
it's
worked
like
into something?
Bajor.
Yeah,
Bajor, the series.
I would love
I'm
that.
working on it. Not really. I am just for funsies writing a Star Trek script that takes place during the occupation. It shows the early stages of it.
I have
So
to
that
bow
show,
out
my
'cause
show.
I need to eat or I'm going to pass out. But I'm so glad you did this, and happy birthday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes,
See you
thank you.
tomorrow.
Bye,
Bye.
Trevor.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Trav. I would like I guess mine would be the post Voyager show. I want to see that sort of stuff. Or I guess it is kind of Prodigy, but like I need something a little more dramatic, an adult. You know, it used to be the Lost era, but we're getting the Section 31 movie. So I feel like we're kind of getting that a little bit, which is kind of cool. Or I honestly, so the thing that I really liked is I liked the original idea for Discovery that came from Brian Fuller is that he was doing an anthology series that was kind of like American Horror Story, like how Discover, it was like a cross between, it was like Star Trek, if you remember the TV show Sliders, where like they were
Mm-hmm.
he was like going to different, Jerry O'Connell ironically, and like it was that with the Discovery. So the spore drive was taking them to different times and dimensions and stuff. So like it was and they would spend a season kind of there trying to get back to wherever they were going. But they deemed that it was too expensive, as like the anthology series with Star Trek, it's too costly. So they took his original thing and then you know, told him they would take the Discovery idea, and then they fired him because he didn't like the director of the pilot, which fair. So and then he
I
left
would
to do
love
American
them
Gods.
to do like, I wish they would just do like short treks as a regular thing and let Brian
Yeah.
Fuller do that. I think that's his best storytelling. Like the opening vignettes. I don't know if you guys watched American Gods,
Mm-hmm.
particularly season 1. They
Yeah.
were beautiful.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous. Little short kind of lead-ins to the, to the main story. That sometimes were related, like kind of directly, but then sometimes just kind of at the margin or the same thing. Just beautiful. And I think he could do the same thing with like a short trek anthology kind of deal, or a medium, a 30-minute, here's, come in, hit it, quit it, go to the next one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it would be an interesting project to take on too, because the trouble with it is the trouble with Brian Fuller's idea, right? Like that's the more they could do with the AR wall, the better. But I've thought about this with writing my spec script. I have 3 different ships in it, and because my brain just works this way, I'm just like, well, like that would be expensive, right? Because we keep seeing all the behind the scenes stuff of like rebuilding the Enterprise D bridge and that kind of thing. So all 3 of the ships that take place in this spec script be like, all right, we're building one bridge, but panels turn around or whatever,
It's an IKEA ship.
Yeah. I mean, they do that normally. They used to do that in the, in the Berman days, like they were just redressing and moving sets all the time. Like the Battle Bridge was constantly being turned into another bridge. Like all of it, like the Battle Bridge was the bridge for that set was the bridge for the Enterprise C. It was also the bridge of the Sutherland. It was literally any bridge that they had. It was always the Battle Bridge. They just moved pieces around. Then all that stuff moved, like they're on like all of the panels and everything could be moved and rearranged. So they've done that pretty regularly, where it's just the same pieces that kind of get recycled. So it's not unreasonable. Theaters do that all the time. Like pieces are constantly being reused and repurposed and stuff. So why would you build something for one episode just to throw it away? It's not smart. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many Star Trek series I would love to see. Like I would love to see. We've always talked about it. Like
interesting.
The Star Trek West Wing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they would
Let
have
me
to
on
figure out
that
how the fucking
show.
Federation works, like
Yes,
because they
and
clearly don't
somebody
know
who
Christmas Tree.
understands. Please hire me just to consult, like somebody who has actually worked in or around government and politics, because I love what we're getting in Discovery, but also at the same time, why is everybody meeting for in-universe questions? 'Cause I know it's budget, but why is everybody like, what floor am I assigned if I'm the ambassador from Bolar or Belarus? Like, why am I on floor 32? Why does the Starfleet captain get a vote? Like, what? That doesn't make
Right.
any sense.
Yeah,
I
the
want to fix
politics
it.
don't make a whole lot of sense. It's very strange. Yeah, like it kind of like my vision of that would be because I'm rewatching it again because I really do enjoy the show a lot. It was Andor, like the tone of
Ooh.
that show, the kind of like the way it treats the 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 empire, the politics of that, the bureaucracy of a fascist state like that is it's fascinating. And James Mangold is an incredible writer and director, and like um he's he's done a lot of things where you look him up and you go, oh, that guy did that. Like there's so many things on his resume where like, shit, this dude did a lot. And like getting something like that that feels, everyone goes, oh, Star Trek is, sci-fi and all that, but like I think you could get away with something like that. Or like, I don't know, it'd been nice if that became part of like Discovery in a way. Now they're dealing with the politics of the 32nd century, but I don't know. They're not going to do anything new until Paramount gets sold by someone. So, good night, Benji.
Good night, Benji.
So, yeah, they're not doing anything new until that gets wrapped up.
Yeah.
I mean, well, because I don't know who they're going to pick because there was one company that outbid Skydance, and that's like a big they're
Sony.
No, someone else. It was another
Oh.
company. They were a big like investment firm, like they were one of
No,
those
they teamed.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Sony and that other. Yeah. It was Sony and that other company, and like
Yeah.
they
That would be
basically like,
challenged.
oh yeah, for sure. But also they were going to sell the whole Paramount lot. The part of their bid was to sell off everything, and it's like, come on, like I don't know. It's just frustrating, and because like now they're trying to make the oh, it's just me now. They're trying to make Paramount Plus like look more profitable. That's why they're not doing as many shows. So there's not as much overhead. Like it's, yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to reboot the movies with that fucking, oh god, that dude.
I don't know
That's a
this
terrible idea.
dude, but people are very upset about this.
Yeah, so he's he's like a white man in Hollywood who keeps failing up.
Oh.
So he did like he did a lot of stuff for Sony. So he was a regular tap in for Sony. That he wrote. I don't know how familiar you are with the Marvel the X-Men movies, but he wrote X-Men: The Last Stand, which is terrible. And then he wrote and directed the Dark Phoenix movie that came out
The
years
worst
later.
one.
It is unwatchable. It is so bad. And this man fucked it up twice.
Calling several of those movies the worst one would have been debatable until Dark Phoenix came out.
Yeah, because there's always, X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is just trash. But now it's like almost camp. It's almost camp now.
Yeah.
But it's like
Apocalypse
now
is almost camp because of Quicksilver
it's
and
almost,
Psylocke.
yeah, it's
And
almost,
a little bit of Isaacs.
yeah. But then that Dark Phoenix movie is just
Garbage.
watching that and just
They
being
got
like,
Jessica Chastain to be in that garbage. She deserves retribution.
I'm gonna file a class action. Like that movie is so bad. I feel like we deserve monetary compensation. Like
She should
get
be
Aaron
able to slap
Brockovich on
that
the
director
case. Like
54 times.
it's terrible, and they're asking him to do it, and it's like, oh, now it's when the origins of the Federation. It's like no one wants to fucking see that.
The pitch made no sense. On top of him being the wrong choice, probably. The pitch made no sense. It's an origin story set a few decades before Kelvin. Nothing is a few decades before Kelvin, because that moment
Nothing.
is when the Kelvin universe split.
Yeah, so it's like what before
Timeline.
that? So it's what even closer between like Enterprise in that moment? Like
Yeah. Because the description is like, it sounds like it's a TOS reboot without saying
yeah.
it. It also
Yeah.
sounds like it's an Enterprise reboot without saying it. It also sounds like a First Contact reboot without saying it. Like it's so vague and nonsensical that it could be any of those things or a mystery 15th thing that we haven't even thought of.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right, Grace. And the article is not written well. It
Yeah.
doesn't explain a whole lot. It's kind of an announcement of that. And Paramount does this fucking thing too, where they announce something kind of shitty and then something great at the same time to kind of like, oh yeah, we're getting Holly Hunter, which is like incredible, Oscar-winning
Work.
actress, incredible actress.
What hope?
Oh, also, yeah, also, like now we're gonna give you this weird thing that they're like kind of. I don't know what. I just don't know. Star Trek works well as a movie in a lot of ways. In a modern
Yeah.
movie, I'll say that.
Because they want to make a blockbuster. They don't want to make a 30
They want
million and
tentpole.
make
Yeah.
They want to
They
spend
don't want
150. They
can't
want to make
make
$1
those
billion.
mid movies anymore.
Yeah, they can't do a 30 to 50 million budget and be happy with making 130 over time.
I'm about to lose power. I'm gonna go. I'm not near.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Be
Tony.
safe.
Happy birthday, honey.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, on her phone. She's gonna lose power on her phone.
Oh.
I was like, I've thought like her house power is going. She's like being jolly as hell. I'm gonna lose power. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye. Yeah. There's a hurricane coming or something.
Yeah. I think pivoting to Holly Hunter. I want to go ahead and apologize to our audience, because if you thought we could land the ship and other Catherine Janeway isms was annoying, just wait until we get Holly Hunter saying things like, "You cadets get to class," and "Admiral, don't you dare talk to my cadets that way." Oh, and I recognize how bad that is. It'll get better.
I mean, I love her voice, and I love because she's the voice of
Elastigirl.
Yeah, so like I love her voice.
Yeah.
So like
her in that plane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like she kind of talks out the side of her mouth. It's like over here a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to hear it again.
She learned real airplane signal for that scene, because when she read the script, she's like, either the script had that stuff and she was like, I don't know what I'm saying, so I'm going to learn, or it didn't feel right to her, and so she looked it up. And I think the script got changed slightly to be real, authentic code words that you use when you're piloting a plane.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
She is awesome.
Yeah, she's
seeing
great.
her in a uniform, seeing like, how fucking lucky is Mary Weissman, dude? I mean, she's incredible on her own, but to have this great character, her arc, like I'm interested to see what happens next, but like to have her whole arc on Discovery was beautiful, and now she's getting set up for this other show, and on top of what she's done with Discovery, now she gets to work with Holly Hunter.
Right. And I'm sure they'll figure out a way to like rope in some of the Discovery cast to come in and bring these characters in. Some type of like, I don't know, someone comes in and teaches an intensive, or like, something like they're gonna pair these. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like a pairing where you get a couple of older characters with a couple of younger characters.
Yeah.
I feel like we might be getting some. I don't know, but
I hope that hot Orion comes back.
Oh.
And Tilly's potential.
Oh, that hot guy from they kind of
Yeah.
that bring that dude back.
So
Oh, girl.
it's been so long. My dry spell. It's killing me.
Oh, it's just the desert now. It's fine.
I have not felt the warm embrace of a gentleman caller this entire calendar year.
The warm, tender embrace of a gentleman. Yeah.
I feel the cholera is taking over my soul.
I have the consumption.
The tuberculosis is coming for me. I know it.
Oh my God.
And I need the tender embrace of a man.
Not TB. Oh my God.
Well, you said consumption.
I know, that's true. I just think it's funnier as consumption, not
For sure. Not tuberculosis, which is still killing countless people every year.
Yeah.
Well, I know that thanks to John Green.
Oh yeah.
How's your move prep going?
Haven't even started, to be honest.
Oh, right. You're still working. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I finally, so like, because you have to do a background check, right? And like, I don't know how extensive this background check is. I'm sure it's just to see if I have like a criminal record or like on the sex offender.
Remember, we are live if you're about to admit to your crimes.
Oh, well, they'll have to catch me first. Good night, Grayson. No, like it because I did it like weeks and weeks ago and haven't heard anything. And I'm like, okay, what's going on with this? And like, I guess like, I don't know, it got hung up with the National Sex Offender Registry. And I guess there's like a huge backlog of people inquiring this. So like,
about you specifically?
About me specifically, yes.
A lot of people are wondering about Will.
They're just like, someone that's hot and sexy has to be registered somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's problematic, but like they said that like the guy from because I like reached out to the company that they used to like figure if this is like my fault, because I assumed it would be my fault, that I needed more like paperwork or something. Oh, Jake, I'm moving to DC to start work at Georgetown. And it was like
/yay.
But yeah, so I have to like, so I reached out to them and then they were like, oh, it got hung up here. And I'm like, well, girl, I thought y'all were like calling the cops on me, because there's nothing on it. Like, I don't have I don't have a a criminal record. Like, there's nothing that they're going to like it's not like they're going to find anything. Like, maybe I have like a parking ticket like that I never paid. Like, I'm sure there's a parking ticket somewhere.
I'm so sorry. We really want you for this theater program at Georgetown. However,
yeah,
you have parking tickets.
Right. And I just hadn't heard anything, and I start with them on Tuesday. So I'm just like, what's going on? Like, I haven't heard anything.
Oh, you're gonna be neighbors.
We're neighbors. Oh, fun.
I live 45 minutes from there.
Cool. But yeah, I don't know. It just made me nervous because I'm like, oh God, there's nothing they can like,
Yeah.
But it still makes me anxious. So I reached out today out of fear and anxiety and been like, do I still have a job?
Like, where are you assholes?
Yeah. But they were of course,
can I come work with you, please?
Please. Yeah. And it's like, I think it's just to check if I have a criminal record or if I'm like, I am who I say I am.
Right.
Like, I don't think they're not gonna like check anything. Like, I don't think it covers like my education. Like, they'd have to do that as a separate like education verification. And I'm sure they did that before they extended an offer to me. So
and that's where most of your lies would have been caught.
Exactly.
And if they didn't, that's their fault. I
mean, at that point, it's just like, Mama, you can't. You don't hate the player, hate the game. You know.
Yeah, you thought I had a master's in astrophysics and I was applying for this theater job? That's your bad.
Right. Yeah, redneck town, Virginia. It looks like they're like I don't know why I assumed that Virginia wasn't like super redneck, but like once you get further away from DC, it definitely gets a little dicey. But redneck, yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. But the guy said they just need to like close it because they're never gonna find out about it. Like I guess it's like,
About your crimes.
yeah, I mean, what's the statute of limitations on that? Like,
Well, it depends on how long you kept him there in your basement.
nice try. Nice try. Not gonna admit to nothing. I, unlike Donald Trump, are a good criminal.
Isn't it shitty that that's one of the worst? I was about to make a really bad joke. I mean, the worst thing is he's not even a good criminal.
Yeah, right.
One of my new favorite bits, when somebody's complaining about something and someone else, like, you're like, oh yeah, I hate it when such and such happens, and somebody just randomly says, oh my God, it's the worst. I've started interjecting. Actually, I think racism is worse than that.
Like finding something that's worse.
Yeah. Like a colleague
But
of
have
mine.
you heard about this thing called Darfur? Like,
Yeah, a colleague of mine who is a friend said, I forgot what she was responding to, and she's like, oh my God, what could possibly be worse than whatever we were talking about? And I was like, racism. The looks of people in the God. I love my job, but one of the saving graces is being able to be my full self and like my shitty humor.
Sure.
Because God, sometimes I'm just like, how do I say this without getting myself in trouble? Somebody asked what I would consider a stupid question a few weeks ago, and it just made me think. I'm like, yeah, there are stupid questions, which is I know is an uncouth thing to say.
Right.
But then I don't know why, but it reminded me of at our holiday retreat, our end of year retreat, just before the holiday party. I met up with that friend, my friend Bridget, that I was talking about here, and I needed hairspray. I didn't have any hairspray, so I met up with her to finish getting ready, and then we went down to walk over to the holiday party site together. And when we got in the elevator, one of our colleagues was already in there, and so like this, I hope I will never forget this experience, because taking that elevator down, this coworker of ours looks at me and says, oh, hi, are you Bridget's husband? And Bridget laughs, thinking he's joking. I know, I can tell by his tone that he is absolutely not. And without skipping a beat, I say, yes, hi, I'm Scott. And that's what gets Bridget to realize, like, oh shit, this guy's serious. We have been colleagues for, at that point, nearly 6 years.
Oh, wow.
I started working at HRC before Bridget, actually, but my role is more support, so I'm less visible. It was just so fucking funny. It's like, oh, hi, are you Bridget's husband? Like, I'm a faggot, and B, a co-worker. And then I was fired for calling myself a faggot at a work event.
Really?
No. I
like,
did
that's
not
kind
even,
of kind of fierce. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What
No,
else?
no.
What next?
I don't know.
We got 19 more minutes.
Why 19 more minutes?
I don't know. I'm gonna turn into a pumpkin.
Oh, how fun. Love that for
I'm
you.
high. I'm high as all.
Oh, okay. Love that.
I can keep going forever. I just said
Me too.
19 because I could that calculated into 8:30.
Got it. Yeah.
But I can keep going for another 3 hours. I just need a topic.
I was talking with my coworkers today about things that were deeply millennial, like deep millennial stuff, and I was like, I started just
Guacamole
naming
toast.
things. Huh?
Guacamole toast.
I mean, I wouldn't even. Yeah, I mean that's like it's almost not millennial enough. Like I
Wait,
was
what is that
like
actually called?
avocado toast,
Avocado toast. Thank you. I was like, I know that's not.
guacamole toast.
I was like, I know that's not right.
Oh my god, no. Hi, it's fine.
Avocado toast.
I had I was like, no, things that were deeply millennial was like the shutter shades. That like remember Coney 2012? I just tweeted about it. I just remembered it today. Like
Oh,
that guy, remember that
the
video? That guy was like that Ugandan. He was like a terrorist or like military leader or something, and he had like all of these like he was using like children's child soldiers.
yeah.
And this guy made this video about it, trying to raise awareness and like raise money. And then he had a nervous breakdown in San Diego and was like butt naked on the street. And then everything kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was like,
because it got too much for him.
yeah, he got a lot more attention than he thought. And then I was like, but then for some reason that in my brain, what's linked to that is like Tom's shoes, which is like basically you wear nothing.
Yes, and I heard isn't the controversy with them that they either don't actually send as many shoes or like they're not they don't do it in a way that's actually helpful. They just send
Yeah, something
random
like
amounts
that.
of shoes to random parts of Africa or some shit like that. There was some
Yeah. We can
minor
look it up, but
minor league controversy with them.
yeah. But I just remember like
They were on Amazing Race.
so.
The Tom Shoes guy, they made it to like the final 5 for sure, but were they the top 3? It was the two dudes, the exes, and I think Tom Shoe guy and his sister. I think they made it to top 3, but came in 3rd.
Yeah, but like
Anyway, I've interrupted you like 6 times. What were you gonna
yeah,
say?
you sure have. But no, but the thing get some coffee and come back on.
Yes.
Joanne. I know. We're talking about things that are deeply millennial. But like but I just remember those shoes for some reason it's linked to Coney 2012 in my brain. But like specifically how your feet always had a very specific Tom smell. Like your feet were fucking
Oh.
disgusting. Like there was a kid that always wore them in college, and I just remember I could not be near him because his feet were fucking rank. I was like, I hate these things.
Yeah.
Like, get these fucking things away from me.
Because you don't
But
wear
yeah.
socks with them, right? Or you don't need
You
to.
can. I mean, most people weren't. Like, I had them,
Yeah.
but I had like the little no-show socks, but that doesn't help you from nothing. That's like
Yeah, the
those
sweat
don't
gets
really
through
help.
to that shitty fabric.
Yeah. You don't
there's
want to, Joanne. They're the worst.
No fucking support. Like it's insane.
No, they're flat and they're so uncomfortable and like they just destroyed you. Like you couldn't run in them because you would literally slip and kill yourself. It was crazy. Like I just remember those shoes and like yeah. I don't know. It just really like sent me back. Like scarves and Toms and wearing a vest. Like it just like seatbelt belts. Like you had a belt that was a seatbelt.
Yeah.
So
I was just glancing at Twitter and like one of my favorite things about being on a stream with you is that I know that you're live tweeting, but not on topic.
No,
except now.
And now it did because now we're not talking about something specific, but like no, I just like sometimes have an intrusive thought and I have to put it on Twitter.
Yeah. What other millennial things? Dial up? I don't know.
No, like millennial things. Like
Did you watch Happy Endings?
No.
Have you seen it?
No, I don't know. I know what it is.
It's so good. And Casey and Adam just started a podcast where they're going to rewatch it. And so the first episode was the two co-showrunners talking about the casting process, etc. And they brought up something specific that I just thought of. But it was 2010, but still very of the time. And why did I bring this up? Damn it, Will.
Sorry. Get your shit together, Diva.
I can't. New topic.
I don't know. I was just thinking about like stuff that's millennial and like there's just trends that are so like, God, why did we like iPods so millennial?
Yes.
And like just like shitty music, like LMFAO. Like, why were we listening to that? Like, just bad music.
Did you know that the iPod Shuffle triggered? So the whole thing with the iPod Shuffle is it would shuffle your music, but because nothing is truly random, like it would still give you, like, you would hear two songs by the same artist in a row, etc. And so they apparently had to build out an algorithm that actually was less randomized but more variety.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
learned that recently and thought that was interesting. iPods.
Anytime I think about iPods, I always think of that quote from Meghan McCain during COVID, like season 1 of the pandemic, where she was like, I would let them embed an iPod Nano between my shoulder blades if it meant I could go out and dance at the club again. And I was like, well, you better work, Meghan McCain. Yeah. The only time she said something where I was like, fucking work, bitch. Like,
I realized the other day, way too late, I was watching a TikTok and two white women talking on a microphone. And I realized way too late that one of them was Meghan McCain. And I was like, oh, God damn it. I was starting to agree with her.
Yeah, there was a clip. I saw that too. And it was her and someone else, and they were talking, and she said something, and I was like, is that Meghan McCain? I was like, fuck, I don't want to listen. Yeah.
I was like, God damn it. It was her and a brunette, right?
Yeah.
She was wearing some kind of peach ensemble. Like she almost looked like just an aura of herself rather than a full person.
She said, I have the exact quote. I love it so much. She goes, quite frankly, I'd let them put an iPod Nano between my shoulder blades if it meant I could get drunk at Caesar's Palace again.
Yeah. No.
And I thought the collection of things that go together there. The quite frankly, I'd let them put an iPod Nano between my shoulder blades.
For the record.
If it means I could get drunk at Caesar's Palace.
Yeah. I want to get drunk. I want to get drunk in Vegas, but it's the specificity that gets it too.
Her being like
iPod Nano.
She clearly still uses an iPod Nano.
Yes.
She clearly gets drunk at Caesar's Palace all the time, and something's going on in between her shoulder blades. Like something.
Yes.
There's three things happening here that really like.
Who was it? Something about Vegas. I'm excited for STLV. That'll be fun. All of us getting drunk together.
Mm-hmm.
iPod Shuffle, Meghan McCain.
It's such a funny video
with her.
Yeah.
Something. God damn it. It was funny too. I had a funny thought. Yeah, She-Hulk was funny. Megan Thee Stallion, she was funny in that. Oh my God. You know what she was ridiculous in was Dix the musical. You remember going to see that?
Oh my God. It showed up on when I was on a plane recently, and I wanted to watch it again, but I don't know if I could sit through it again. Because that thing was fucking wild.
Yeah, I bought it to watch with a friend. I forget who. Somebody I haven't seen since then. So I think it's physical fault.
You think it killed that friendship.
Yeah,
It
it
made
killed
us.
that friendship.
It didn't kill ours. I
Yeah.
did at one point go like, this guy brought me to this fucking movie. You're like, I want to see this, and I was like, okay.
That was early on in our friendship. Yeah.
That was pretty early on. Yeah.
And I remember both of us were just like, it's fucking wild that got made. It's my Delulu. It's my, like, I can make it, and that's not a judgment against them. It's that it was so fucking wild. Like, how the hell? And A24, it wasn't. It was it was fucking Prestige Cinema was like, yeah, we'll do that. But she was also really funny in She-Hulk.
Oh, I didn't watch that. I'm so burnt out on the Marvel stuff. The last thing Marvel that I saw, I think, was probably Into the Spider-Verse. I think was the last thing I saw. That, or I kind of like half watched the Doctor Strange Madness, Madness, and Multiverse of Madness, or whatever. Which is like a movie that felt like it was being written as it was being filmed. I'm like, what the fuck is this even happening? It was like, what this movie, like, it feels like it's like it was being written and made in real time. Like,
it was a cameo movie. It was a movie of cameos.
But it happens like the action. It doesn't have
the antagonist.
It just has the beginning. It doesn't have a beginning at all. It's like, oh, you need to know this shit. I was like, but it doesn't link up with anything in any coherent way. So it's like there needs to be a 0.5 of that movie.
It's so weird because I don't think their interconnectivity is their issue. It's the issue is their lack of bringing the audience up to speed, which I get is challenging. If you're too exposition heavy, it can be challenging. But like, you've seen Babylon 5, right?
Yeah.
That show
they do a
was
good job of like recapping in a way where you don't feel
very
lost.
natural. You would have a last episode on Babylon 5, last time on Babylon 5. But then in this week's episode, there would be dialogue. It would even be as simple as Delin saying, as you know, the shadows came to war with us over 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, but
in her actual dialogue,
you get a little.
It would repeat something from 4 episodes ago that was like just enough to remind the audience or tell a new watcher, because it was on syndication, who missed last week's episode, enough that they could enjoy today's episode.
Yeah, and they had good like previously on kind of thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's weird. Yeah,
that's what Marvel needs, is to just be better about like, oh, if 2 movies ago is important to this plot, then tell me what I need to know from that movie. Don't assume that I'm coming into this movie having seen it.
Right.
Yeah, even if I have,
I don't know. It's just a little. It was just a little frustrating because it was like it just felt like it wasn't written. It just kind of congealed in a puddle somewhere. It was just like forming as the movie was happening, which is crazy because it's probably because they don't those scripts. Like, this is true of like Spider-Man No Way Home, where that film, they were shooting it and writing alternate scenes based on who they could get in the movie. So like they actually didn't have Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire actually signed to the movie when they started filming it. So they were shooting scenes for a movie that they didn't have. And like they had a whole other script that they would use if they didn't get these actors.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that is fucking crazy. And especially when
Marvel
you're like Disney and Marvel, because it's an insane amount of money. That's why these movies you watch and you go, why did they spend $300 million on it? It's probably because they shot about 2 other movies at the same time that are just on the cutting room floor somewhere.
Yeah, and I think, listen, they deserve it. Like I'm always going to side with workers, but like the Star Trek 4 problem between Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, and to a near but lesser extent, Quinto and Urban, like those 4 are roughly on par with each other, depending on what latest project came out. And then the rest of the cast are worth a significant amount, but like just that main cast, can be $100 million of your $150 million budget.
Yeah.
So if
Especially
you
Zoe
can't get,
Saldana, because
yeah,
her box office draw is crazy. Because
yes,
like it's not just it's because a lot of times their agents and managers will be like, this actor is worth this much because they were in a film that made, because
right.
she's in how many Marvel films? Fucking Avengers. She's in Avatar,
Yep.
like and Star Trek. So it's
She's in
like
every franchise except Star Wars yet.
I know, right? So she has a box office that like outpaces anybody. So
Yeah.
I think
She would
it
have to
goes like
want to do it for a significant, like she
yeah,
has, she
and
would
she's
have to
also
like,
like locked into fucking Avatar again. Like she's stuck
right,
doing that for God knows how long,
for the rest of her life,
you know,
probably.
or
Hopefully
the
not.
rest of James Cameron's life.
Let's
Jesus,
James Cameron, you let her go.
I know,
Um,
God, it's so crazy.
but
But
yeah,
yeah,
it,
so
it would have to
it's
be
an interesting.
like you'd have to go around the reps and be and like a Zoe, her and Chris themselves would have to be like, I want to make this happen.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd have to give them producer credits. They'd have to get some back end stuff. So
yeah,
that actually
back
makes
end.
more pressure on the film to do really well because they owe these people a certain percentage. So
Yeah.
there's the way movies are now, you can't make a $30 million movie.
Yeah.
You just can't. You have to
Not
spend
a Star Trek movie.
$250 million movie. I mean, generally, just across the board, you can't do
Yeah.
it. Like you need
I
$100
would,
million to just make a small rom-com now. And
yeah.
it's like,
And that's
why?
why,
It's
like,
because
why didn't they
they're
just
paying
make
people so much.
I think they should have referenced Beyond as like the end of a trilogy, because it kind of is. Like
Yeah.
they put so much pressure on themselves to have a fourth movie instead of the next Star Trek movie, that like
hmm
do it with a brand new cast and a new idea for 50 to 80 million instead of 1 to 150, like
Yeah. They're just
find that
not well, at
happy
the time, they
medium.
couldn't do that. Because the reason they rebooted instead of doing a new crew of people was because the original series is more recognizable. So they needed some
Yeah.
people to go, "Oh, there's a Star Trek movie, and I know these people, so they're not gonna make Star Trek. Who's this random blue person?" Like, they're not
Yeah.
gonna care. So, like, it's hard to I understand why they'd reboot. I And I understand why there's a thought to making a fourth movie because they have a cast unless they want to reboot
Sure.
again. But that looks bad. That's like the Spider-Man thing where it's like they're
Yeah.
constantly rebooting it.
That's why I like the next movie. I feel like, I mean, yes, let's do another Kelvin, or let's do something in the Kelvin timeline for next gen or whatever.
right.
Like, and not to reboot next gen, but like be in the next gen timeline or century.
I don't know. I just don't think they're gonna get another another Star Trek film, like a big theater thing, unless it's Kirk and Spock again, and then they're just gonna reboot again. I feel
Yeah.
like we're getting to the point where they're just gonna reboot because they keep bringing these people in with these new ideas, trying to get these ideas off the ground. And
How can
I
we
just don't.
shoehorn Spock?
I know how we're gonna get Spock in this one. So I think it's just gonna be a reboot again eventually. I think Paramount will get bought. They'll give up on trying to do a Star Trek film, and then they'll get another exec in who'll be like, "We're just rebooting this again." Like we're
Yeah.
almost at the point
It's the safe thing to do.
because it was 2000. Yeah, it was about 7 years after. Yeah, and it was. I think if we get close to if the world doesn't end by 2029, I think that's when they'll probably reboot.
Yeah.
Like I just don't think they're gonna be able to make a fourth movie. I think it's too far. Unless they re-release them in theaters all of a sudden, because they've been doing that a lot with different films. Like
Right.
Star Trek Search for Spock is getting
Remind
re-released in
people you
theaters.
like this.
Yeah, remember when you liked that movie? Yeah.
Yeah. Now there's another one 10 years later.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I just don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the TV movies because it's keeping their community small and everyone on streaming and stuff. And I think that's hopefully the Section 31 film does really well and
Yeah.
they can,
Do one every couple of years.
Yeah,
And eventually maybe even more than one a year, because of the assets that they have up on the Star Trek stage over at Pinewood.
Yeah. Yeah, I think having one or two series running, and then, who would we pick if they recast
Interesting.
TNG for a Kelvin universe? Ooh, that's a great question.
Here we
So we
go.
need a bald guy. There's this dude. He's in everything. Hold on, I can find him. I'm just gonna search bald actors.
Yeah, for either Riker or ironically Wesley. That is it Justin or Jason Bailey guy? Smoking hot, having a moment.
Oh,
He
yeah. Jonathan
had
Bailey.
Jonathan Bailey. He had a Met Gala moment with a hidden flower.
Yeah. Mark Strong, this guy. That's Picard.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I think he's Aussie British also. Let's see.
I mean, listen, if we're stunt casting and we can get anybody, Idris Elba as Will Riker.
Or he would also make a really good Picard.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Yeah. I think they would be good. Mark Strong. Oh, so we have we need to write this down.
Yeah.
So we remember, because you're too high and I'm not gonna remember. So we have Picard.
I mean, this is recording, but still.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you go live, it's
Oh, it records it. Oh,
yeah.
okay. Then I'm not gonna write shit down. Yeah. Okay.
I
So
will hit the
Riker.
let me hit the marker button. Done.
Great.
For Deanna Troy, I'm thinking a Stephanie Shu
Oh, that's an interesting choice. Yeah.
or an Ashley Park. Matt Boomer for Riker from Joanne.
That'd be good. Matt Bomber.
Oh,
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito for Picard.
That would be good too.
Yeah.
Or who would also might be an interesting choice for Riker too, be Tom Hiddleston. I think he's a little too old.
Yeah.
Because Riker's like in his 30s.
Right. Sophie Turner as Dr. Beverly Crusher.
That would be good. Oh God. His good Geordie. But he was in the Star Wars sequels. Boyega. What's his first name?
Oh yeah, John Boyega.
John Boyega. Yeah, get him as Geordie. What a fucking.
I was thinking of is it Sam Anderson? Who was it in the after party?
Oh, I don't know.
Sam Richardson.
Oh, okay. Sam Richardson.
Here, I'm gonna share my screen.
Oh, yeah. No, he'd be great. No, that's good. Yeah. No. He's good too. The guy from Abbott for Geordie. Oh, that would be good too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That good. That's a good casting, Joanne.
Tyler James.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be good.
Lisa Ann Walter as Deanna, or as Beverly Crusher.
Beverly, oh yeah, she'd be good. Yeah. Who would play Data? Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon. The Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor. Yeah.
Oh,
he might be good actually. That's actually not a bad casting though. That actor wouldn't be bad.
Not to continue to make this all about autism, but who's his face from Community?
The Donald Glover's his friend.
Yeah. Community.
Don Glover would also be a great casting for Geordie too.
Danny Pudi.
Yes, that'd be good. That's good. Yeah, I like that.
Chevy Chase. No, just absolutely not. Yes,
that guy.
Tasha Yar or Worf. Let's cast Worf first.
I mean, any of it. I think he has to be big.
Terry Crews.
No, he's too
Like
comedic.
lean into the comedy of Worf.
Still don't think he's funny though.
We need to raise the shields. He was great in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah. Oh, James Spader would be an interesting choice for Q, Jake. That's actually interesting.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, I was thinking about him. He's in the Black Panther movies.
Daniel Acule.
Yeah, I think. Oh, he'd be great as Worf. He'd be so good. Oh yeah.
Or are we talking about Michael B. Jordan?
I mean, he no,
Winston Duke.
I think
Or
so, yeah.
Worf is actually played by either Letitia Wright, or she's a little anti-vax. Danae. Gender swap Worf.
Yeah. Oh, that would
Worst?
be funny. No,
No,
Winston
not Worst.
Duke, that guy. That's
Yeah.
Worf. That's Worf right there. Oh yeah.
Admiral
yeah, Eddie.
Nechayev would be Angela Bassett.
Oh yeah, give it to her. Or
I'm
yeah.
not sharing my screen. Sorry. I thought I was, and I'm
Gal
like,
Gadot is Troy. I don't know who would play Troy, because like I need someone kind of like Troy. She's kind of. I mean, I know, not now. I mean, but like, because Marina Sirtis is Greek, right?
yeah.
So like some like, I don't know.
Mia Vardalos.
I don't know who that is.
Is that not the name of the woman who did? Yeah, Nia Vardalos. You said Greek, and I thought of My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh no.
Andrea Martin as Loxana Troy. Loxana Troy. Would be Troy.
Like I like the idea of Gal Gadot. I just like not her.
Yeah.
Like it's there's a certain like, I don't know.
Etherealness.
Yeah, there's a kind of like yeah, that there's
Do you
that kind of
remember
energy.
what I taught you,
Yeah.
Zadi?
Yeah, something. I don't know. I have to think about that. That's interesting.
Oh, Tilda Swinton.
As anybody. That's Data.
Yes.
Tilda Swinton is Data.
Oh, fuck yes.
Make
Yes.
Tilda anyone. Tilda is fucking Picard. Tilda is Worf. Tilda just shows up randomly playing a different character. No one comments on it. She randomly is in an episode, but for some reason she's playing Troy. The next week she's playing Wesley. Like every
which week it's all Tilda Swintons.
But then you could cut all of her scenes. Oh, Tilda is Q. That's good too. Oh yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. But cut Tilda is so many different things. Like, and then you cut those scenes together. It's just Tilda as Star Trek. Star Tilda. Tilda Trek. Yeah.
Yeah, Tilda Trek. Man. Yeah, I just looked up ethereal actresses. And she was number 1, Kate Blanchett. I disagree. She's not. Disagree with that one. Renee Rapp as Tasha Yar.
Oh, that would be funny. I would love that actually.
Yeah, I can't think of a Deanna.
Yeah, it's a hard.
There's a woman in Loot who would be a good. She has a Pulaski look to her. She's particularly funny. She's a very self-deprecating character.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a scene where they thought that they might have had a bomb scare on their hands, and they were like, well, somebody has to go in there to check. And somebody said, Well, obviously you can't. We have to pick who is least valuable, and she steps forward and says, "Say no more. I'm going in."
Good God.
That show is really funny. Um, Wait, who did I say for Stephanie Shu? Was she my original Deanna? Or an Ashley Park?
I think you meant you. I know you mentioned her. I don't know if you said it for Troy. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, Mila Kunis. That might be good too.
Yeah.
Or like
Kristen Bell.
Is what? I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know why you would reboot TNG. I just don't think it's necessary, but like it would be fun.
If any of them get a reboot, it should be Enterprise or Voyager. We were talking about that earlier. Voyager leaning into its concept.
But I think you could do that in a new series without rebooting it. I think you could do that as a new series.
For sure.
Like, I think the concept of it is great. You can make it more intentional where they're like, oh, they're exploring here and send them away, or like, you know.
And something happens. Yeah, that like they're not lost. That like they choose to go on, continue on their mission for some reason. It didn't make sense to turn around and go to a starbase.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's like the Lost in Space idea is great.
Yeah. Ooh, Zendaya as Ro.
They couldn't afford her. Oh my God. Yeah. She wouldn't wear the uniform. Law wouldn't let her wear the uniform.
That would have to be a as the actor a Whoopi Goldberg. No, I want to be in this. I'm not joking.
Yeah, it would have to be one of those things. I love that I love that story where she's like, I asked and they thought I was joking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, someone who would be, like we got like a Viola Davis to play Guinan, that would be great.
Oh, holy fuck, yeah.
Right. Or a I don't know. There's so many.
Yeah, I thought of her for Admiral Nechayev, but Angela Bassett.
Oh yeah.
She could work as Guinan.
Yeah.
Danae Guria as Tasha.
Who?
She was one of the generals, one of the bald women general in Black Panther.
Oh yeah, should be said.
Also on The Walking Dead, like Sonequa was.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Ooh, Sebastian Stan as Tom Paris.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Joel Kim Booster as Harry Kim. Who's today's Janeway?
That's a great question.
Melissa McCarthy.
No. Kate
McKinnon.
No. Kate
Blanchett.
Winslet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, or Kate Blanchett, but I think Kate Winslet fits that more.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum as Q would be fun. It would that would wear thin though.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It would. Yes.
Q should just be played by a different person each time. Like you should just have that as the guest actor. Q is not one actor. It's always someone else who shows up.
Yes.
Oh, it's Q. Oh fuck, it's another Q. Like,
Oh, don't you
it's
recognize me, mon ami?
oh, hello, it's Q again. Yeah,
Mon
hi. Yeah, does he
capitan?
take a different form each time
Oh,
and have that
that
be a
would be
guest actor?
awesome. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. That would be such a fun thing for actors to want to do too. You
Yeah,
would get people who would be like, "Oh, I want to be hey, that one that changes every time. I want to be that."
right.
Um,
I suggested that. I suggested that they do that for the Sex and the City reboot sequel series. That instead of recasting Samantha or like hoping that like killing her off or like hoping that um, Kim Cattrall gets desperate enough to do it, that they
which
should
isn't
just
gonna
that they should
happen.
just play. But that Samantha should just played by another actress each episode or each season. Like randomly like Lucy Liu is Kim Cattrall. Like
That would
get
be
her in there.
fucking
Like,
hilarious.
oh yeah, like why is, randomly throw another actress in just to see what would happen, you know? Like I just think that would be so funny because the show is already completely divorced from reality just generally, but I would just lean
Yeah.
into it. So it turns like very Lynchian where like, the
Claire
finale,
Foy.
all of the Samanthas are there. Oh,
Yeah,
Claire Foy.
as Janeway.
That's not a bad idea. Claire
Um,
Foy.
fully leaning
Oh,
into the crown.
speaking of that, get Olivia Colman in Star Trek somewhere. Why has she not been in Star Trek? Fuck. Could you imagine Olivia Colman as a villain? Get her in some Klingon makeup. Fuck, that'd be great. I'm serious. Get her ass
Yes.
in some fucking makeup.
Oh,
That'd be fun.
that I see her more as like a human, but for the same reason.
No, fuck that. No,
Yeah.
I feel like she'd live for that. Like, get her in some
She
crazy
might.
makeup for like
Well,
one
this is like
episode.
you disagreed with me, but I was saying the other day with Holly Hunter being announced, she like based on her role in Mr. Mayor, like she's not precious about how she looks. So I definitely don't think that she would agree to full prosthetics. Like she's not going to be a Kelpian, but I do
No.
wonder if she would be down for an hour or less, like kind of makeup.
Yeah,
Like Trill,
maybe. I mean,
Joran, and I don't know that those are only an hour, but like maybe
right.
she's
I
1/4 Trill, and so she just has
I just feel like
just
she's
on
gonna
her
be human.
forehead.
I just feel like she's gonna be human.
Oh, for sure. But for the same reason you want
No, it would be
Olivia
nice
in
if she was
Klingon
like
makeup.
and I was like, oh yeah, like I was like, oh, she could be like Vulcan or something or Romulan, but like I think if she's Vulcan, that hinders her performance too much. I don't think she would
Yeah.
match that. So
Yeah.
she's probably just gonna be human, unless there's just spray painting her green like an Orion or something. Bye. Yeah,
Pray and I'll turn.
original series Klingon, just brown shoe polish,
Ooh, yeah, I don't
uh,
see
brown
her.
face adjacent.
I don't see Academy Award winning Holly Hunter being
Actress
like,
Holly
you know what?
Hunter. Yeah.
We were talking on the earlier stream of there's a small number of actors or a small number of people involved in Star Trek who have an Academy Award as
Mhm.
actors. Christopher Plummer, Whoopi Goldberg, now Holly Hunter,
Michelle Yao.
Michelle Yeoh, and Michelle Yeoh, and God, Michelle, Whoopi, Christopher, Holly, and F. Murray Abraham.
Yeah, I was looking up. I literally was looking up Star Trek Insurrection. I was literally
Yeah,
looking it
you're
up because I was
welcome.
like, I know it's him. What's his name? Yeah, because he went for Amadeus,
Amadeus,
but
yeah, it was such a weird movie.
very strange. It's an even weirder play.
The poster for it is like, what is this ominous nonsense?
I mean, it's pretty fucking slay though.
Yeah.
Oh, and like there's a lot of people who have Tonys too. Like again,
Yes.
Donna Murphy, same
Yeah.
movie, Tony.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people who
Whoopi.
have Whoopi, yeah.
Tons of them have Emmys. I like, especially
Yeah.
like several of them who've written books, and like their
Right.
audiobook got it.
Hmm. But yeah,
Um,
lots of people.
Yeah. So Kate Winslet or Claire Foy or Gillian Anderson.
It's a good one too. I would
Captain
do that.
Janeway.
Or Tilda Swinton.
Yes.
Get tilde in here. Get tilde in here.
So my what if of it being Roe, I still stand by. But what if we kept Chakotay but went not problematic, not
Found an
a
actual indigenous actor to play them, but
actual
fucking
indigenous
gender
actor to
swap,
play
bitch. Give
them?
that to Lily Gladstone.
Yes, yes.
Give it to gender swap that shit. Give it to someone else.
Yes. And lean into an actual tribe, not some gross conglomeration as dictated by a not native, clearly not vetted consultant who was lying to them. God.
I love a stunt and I love a scam, but come on.
Yes. Not that one.
I draw the line. I draw the line.
Yeah. You can excuse racism. A community. That's a community quote. I draw the line.
There was an indigenous actor. What is his name? Oh, I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, actually hiring an indigenous actor would be great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think we need to start planning for our reboot of the original series again.
Right.
Unfortunately,
I mean, that's
they
what
can't
Strange
think
New
of
World is
it.
leading towards, right?
Huh? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think that we're at that point. I think
Ooh.
once Paramount gets
Wait. Alfre Woodard as Janeway.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, I would love her in anything.
Yes.
You broke your bullshit.
I'm also trying to think. Again, I'm thinking Stephanie Shu, Balana.
Yeah.
Who would be the doctor? I think the doctor is gender swapped, perhaps.
Oh, you think so?
Or non-binary doctor, because it's a hologram.
Right. Well, it's modeled after someone, is the point. Unless the doctor is non-binary, Zimmerman.
Bella Ramsey as the doctor. Was she still too young? Probably.
Yeah.
That would be very disconcerting if this actress, I think she's like 2022 now, but she still looks like a teenager. It pops in, please state the nature of the medical emergency. I'm like, well, this now.
Well, a child. Yeah. Why are you here?
Yeah. Who played they're in Quantum Leap and the Sandman, I think. Quantum Leap cast. I need to find his name.
I have a good casting for 7 of 9.
Hold, please.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Oh, yeah.
7 of 9.
Yes.
She'd kill that, actually.
Yeah. Why can I hate IMDb so much? Cast and crew. God, why is it so hard to find any of these links? And of course, on this, they're not showing a picture. God, fuck
Are you
off.
talking about Mason Alexander Park?
Probably.
Because it says they're in Quantum Leap too.
that the blonde?
Yes, they're non-binary.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think they were in Sandman too.
Yes, that's how I found them. I also recognize them because they did a
They're a fake
run
Uncle
as the
Blonde, yeah.
in Cabaret on the West End, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ruth Connell for Janeway. Ooh, Sarah Ramirez as B'Elanna. That could be interesting. Their voice is incredible. Their version of the story is the best version of it.
Oh, Ruth Connell, that's interesting casting too.
Ooh, Kirby Hal Baptiste as the
RuPaul. Who would
doctor.
RuPaul play, Joanne?
Dude,
Who would
RuPaul as the
play?
doctor.
Oh my
RuPaul.
god! Ew!
Yeah.
Oh my god! You're looking sickening. Oh, you're actually sick. Oh.
Oh. Sit down in the bio bed. Hang on, I'm gonna go pee.
Okay. Well, it's almost 9. Didn't you say we're ending this at 8:30?
Yeah, we should end it.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much for hanging out with
All
me
right.
on my birthday.
Bye. Yeah. Happy birthday, Stanley.
Thank you very much. It's been a
Happy
pleasure.
75th birthday.
Thank you. Yes, 75 subscribers for my 75th birthday. Thanks, everybody. We did it. We did it, Joe.
It.
All right. Bye, y'all. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Yeah. Bye, Stan.
Okay, I have to turn this off. I forgot. Thanks, y'all. Bye.